camp now. Yes, I didn't see. What are you looking so sad about, Champ?
I'm surprised. I mean, I'm really insulted. That's not right, what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I mean, I'm getting drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talk about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, one time during my career, I was on a bum of my tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right. You know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Miss Cass, Mike Mazik, the Drunk Irishman, Just Do Boxing. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, the Box Storian. Today, the Pep-Saddler Series. The Pep-Saddler Series. As the family today, it's Monday, right back at the beginning of another big week of boxing history. We're going to do another classic boxing series. Willie Pep versus Sandy Saddler. Back started in the late 40s, went on into the early 50s. 4-fight series between these two gentlemen. And they really hated each other's guts during this series. The fourth fight is called the dirtiest fight in history. Both were suspended. Pep's license was revoked. Saddler was suspended indefinitely for the dirty tactics they used against each other in the fourth fight. And but then guess what? after their careers, they became best friends. Traveled around doing exhibitions together, speaking together. But I guess you fight somebody 4 times, you can't help but get a certain respect for them. So yeah, check out that link. Yeah, Drunk Irishman has in there. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be looking at today. Willie Pep and Sandy Sattler. How was everybody's weekend? So now I guess all we got left is Virgil versus Boots. They both won their last fight. So hey, let's get it on. Early 2026. Nothing left but fight, right? The talk is over. Okay. They don't fight now. Somebody is a duck. I don't know which one, but nothing left to do but to fight, right? That's the way I see it. Okay, but first, as we usually do, we're going to start out with our fight of the day for today. Okay? Hope everybody had a good weekend. We got a big week ahead of us. Of course, today, the Pep-Saddler Series. Tomorrow, we're going to cover a number of different subjects. We're going to look at some of the best fighters that never won a title. We're going to look at Lennox Lewis's top fights in his career. Yeah, we're gonna look at a number of things tomorrow. Okay. We're gonna look at the top fighters. They call them catchers. Those were fighters like Jake LaMotta that take 2 or 3 punches just to get one. Like a Jake LaMotta or Turbo Gaddy. We're gonna look at the top fighters from that style tomorrow. Wednesday, brought to you by BBO Sports TV, we're going to look at Gene Tunney. Okay, take a look at Gene. Then we're going to continue our trip around the world Thursday. We're going to look at boxing in another country. It's going to be Germany. No, we was up to the I's, but I missed Germany, so we're going to go backwards to G, because we did Ireland, Italy. But we're going to go backwards to Germany. How can we not do Germany? So Thursday going to be Germany. And then Friday, our profile this week is going to be the life and career of Mikey Garcia. That was a good one last week on Secure. Got a whole lot of views on that one. So everybody must have liked that one. Yeah. If anybody didn't see it, check out the playback. The life and career of Shakur Stevenson Friday. Okay. Yeah. Drunk Irishman says, Ortiz and Oscar already talking about fighting 2-year inactive Spence. The Boots fight won't happen. That's what I'm thinking to Drunk Irishman. It won't happen. And all those people was calling Boots the Duck. Now, Virgil talked about fighting Earl Spence. Come on, man. But you won't hear the duck words. For Virgil, you just won't hear it. But let's get to our fight of the day, Oscar is, we know he running that protection racket. But let's get to the fight of the day, because guess who's in it? Not to give nothing away, but speaking of Oscar, let's get to the fight of the day. Okay, today's fight of the day is Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Oscar De La Hoya, May 5th, 2007. The fight that made Floyd a superstar. Okay, speaking of Oscar, the fight of the day today, we got Pretty Boy versus the Golden Boy, May 5th, 2007. The fight that made Floyd a superstar. Okay. Let's go. Now, thousands upon thousands of boxing fans dropped in for Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao on May 2nd, 2015, exercising their right to throw down pay-per-view dollars for a potential fight of the decade matchup. Mike Grimm, what's up, Mike? Fight of the day, Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Oscar De La Hoya, 2007, May 5th, 2007. Okay, so Mike Grimm. Yeah, a lot of people. Let's start over. Thousands upon thousands of boxing fans dropped in for Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao on May 2nd, 2015, exercising their right to throw down pay-per-view dollars for a potential fight of the decade matchup. And when those fans heard the financial numbers that resulted from what was expected to be the sport's biggest revenue-churning event ever, they may have wondered just how the heck a slippery eel like Floyd became the biggest cash cow in boxing history. Now, to answer that question, let's turn the page of boxing history back to May 5th, 2007, the day of the fight that made Floyd. Okay? The day of the fight that made Floyd. His fight that night in Las Vegas against Oscar De La Hoya displayed everything that defined the undefeated fighter. The villainous persona, the aggravating but effective hit-and-run tactics, the visionary marketing, and all the other elements that made Floyd every bit as much a spectacle as a fighter. Yeah, Young Rasmus said, I don't respect Oscar outside the ring or as a promoter, but inside the ring, he was a beast. Never ducked anyone. Fought the best, win or lose. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I don't understand how he promotes his fighters. He running a protection racket, but Oscar in the ring was a beast. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Floyd, all those things made him just as much a spectacle as a fighter. Now, the build up to Floyd Oscar alone altered the way boxing does business. For 3 weeks before they met, HBO ran a De La Hoya versus Mayweather 24/7 show that took viewers into the fighters' camps. It aired on Sunday nights and couldn't have had better lead-in programming. In boxing terms, the mafia brutality on The Sopranos and the sexy glitz of Entourage were the ultimate undercard for each episode of 24/7. Yeah, Sunday nights we had Entourage, Sopranos, and then the 24/7s, and that's when that started, taking fans into fighters' camps and stuff, right? Was an Oscar Floyd fight, 24/7. Such behind-the-scenes exposure became a staple for big fights on HBO and Showtime, and for obvious reasons. In 2007, that hype helped stoke the audience that propelled Mayweather De La Hoya to a $19 million live gate, 2.4 million pay-per-view buys, and total revenue of about $160 million, all records at that time. And today, 18 years later in 2025, still top 10 numbers, okay? $19 million live gate, 2.4 million pay-per-view buys, and about $165 million worth of revenue. Records at that time, still top 10 numbers today, 18 years later in 2025. Now, Oscar, with his sparkling image and bigger name at the time, made $52 million to Floyd's $25 million, which also made it the biggest payday in boxing history at the time. And again, 18 years later today, $52 million and $25 million, still huge paydays for fighters. 2007 was records at that time for paydays, but still big, huge paydays today. Okay? Now, great fights typically are preceded by great animosity. And Floyd got the ill will rolling during a promotional appearance with Oscar on Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles, okay? So they were at the promotional press conference. Oscar, Floyd, both up on stage. Oscar wearing two hats. He wearing the promoter's hat and one of the participants in the fight. So Floyd at the podium addressing the crowd, right? So Floyd told one of his team members to bring Oscar up here, right? And what appeared was a live chicken in a cage with a gold medal around his neck. And the cage had a sign on it that said Golden Girl, right? It was a double dig at Oscar, mocking the Golden Boy and his medal from the 1992 Olympics. Now, of course, Floyd was booed. "I'm the villain in boxing, but damn, I'm great," he told the pro-Oscar crowd. Okay, so Floyd got the ill will rolling, but he took it a step further on fight night. Technique in the building. What's up, Technique? Floyd versus Oscar is the fight of the day. So yeah, Floyd said bring Oscar up here. One of his team bought a live chicken in a cage with a gold medal around his neck, and the cage said Golden Girl on it. But on fight night, Floyd took it a step further. Okay? On fight night, Floyd ramped up his villain role even more. Against the backdrop of Cinco de Mayo, Floyd insulted Oscar's legion of Latino fans by on his ring walk, parading down the aisle and into the ring wearing shorts and a robe that bore the red, white, and green colors of the Mexican flag. And for an added touch, perched on his head was a white sombrero that completed Floyd's bad guy persona. Remember that? Now, Floyd the Mexican was an audacious move, particularly considering the HBO broadcaster Jim Lantley estimated the MGM grand audience at that fight was 90% pro-Oscar. Okay? And also bold was Floyd's decision to bulk up to only 150 pounds for the WBC junior middleweight title fight, while Oscar came in at the limit, 154 pounds. Okay? But crowd sentiment didn't prevent Floyd from putting on a clinic that demonstrated how he had amassed a 37-0 career record as a pro up to that point. And Floyd, then aged 30, caught his then 34-year-old opponent, Oscar, at an opportune time, too. Okay, he caught Oscar at an opportune time. Now, Oscar entered this fight at 38 wins, 5 losses, but he had lost 2 of his previous 4 fights. And his ring rust also showed, as Oscar was fighting for only the 3rd time in 32 months. 3rd time in almost 3 years. Now that's normal nowadays because a lot of fighters only fight once every year. But back in 2007, 3 times in almost 3 years was not normal. Most fighters fought 3 times in 1 year back then. So Oscar was coming into this fight for only the 3rd time in 32 months, almost 3 years. Now retirement was clearly on the horizon for Oscar. And after the Floyd fight, he only fought 2 more times in his career. Now, during this fight, Floyd had yet to adopt his money nickname and was called Pretty Boy Floyd when Michael Buffer made the ring introductions for this fight. And elusive as ever for 12 rounds, Floyd kept his prettiness intact while Oscar chased him, usually with little success. Now, Oscar easily won the punch count, but not much else. The Copper Box scoring tallied 587 punches thrown by Oscar to Floyd's 481. But while Floyd threw less punches, they were far more accurate. His connection percentage was more than double Oscar's, as Floyd landed 43% of his total punches to Oscar's 21%. And this was the night that Floyd solidified his place in boxing lore as a defensive specialist who is half cheater, half sniper. And there was no comparison between the hand speeds of the 2 fighters. And while Floyd landed precious few combinations, he was able to score steadily with quick strikes and then retreat before Oscar could retaliate. But HBO's Larry Merchant wasn't impressed by Floyd's style. In the 6th round, Merchant referred to Floyd as a defensive genius, but in the 9th round, The veteran announcer also questioned whether Floyd could be classified as historically great when he only throws one punch at a time. And Merchant's broadcasting partner, Jim Lantley, was of a similar mind, giving genuine props to Floyd's undefeated record, but adding, this sport is also about theater. The obvious insinuation was that Floyd wasn't providing any drama as he spent most of the fight on the run, on the move, right? Now, those choruses of complaint only grew in Floyd's performances after beating Oscar. His only two knockouts after that were Ricky Hatton and Conor McGregor, both TKOs. Now, officially, Floyd knocked out Victor Ortiz in 2011, but that fight had a fiasco factor. Yeah, because when the knockout came, Victor Ortiz was standing there with one hand down by his waist and the other one out trying to shake Floyd's hand. So officially, Floyd knocked him out, but it's got an asterisk by that, right? In the end, the judges valued Floyd's accuracy more than Oscar's aggression. Floyd won by split decision, which probably should have been unanimous, right? Probably should have been unanimous. Now, many people wasn't fans of Floyd's style, but he clearly controlled the fight. It was even at the halfway point, but Floyd zeroed in during the later rounds and scored consistently on a tiring and fading Oscar. Okay, now naturally, there were plenty of fans who saw the fight differently and thought Oscar should have won. Most notably among the fans who thought Oscar should have won was one Floyd Mayweather Sr. And that added one more oddity to the event, okay? Now, Mayweather Sr. had been Oscar's trainer. A disagreement over money led to Mayweather Sr. being replaced for this fight by Freddie Roach, Manny Pacquiao's long-standing cornerman. But Oscar still provided Mayweather Sr. with a $2,000 ringside seat, and it was from that vantage point he saw his son as the loser. I thought Oscar won the fight on points. He threw more punches, and he was more aggressive, Mayweather Sr. told reporters. My son had solid defense and caught a lot of punches, but Oscar pressed enough to win the fight. Now, Floyd Sr. was just hating. He was upset because Floyd had Roger as his trainer instead of him, sitting there hoping Floyd would lose, but he was just hating because Floyd had Roger instead of him. Floyd Sr. know damn well Floyd won that fight. But anyway, Judge Tom Kaczmarek agreed with Mayweather Sr.'s assessment, scoring at 115-113 for Oscar. But Floyd won the backing of judges Chuck Giampa, 116-112, and Jerry Roth, 115-113. And the HBO commentating crew of Lampley and Merchant agreed with the outcome, both giving the fight to Floyd, as did the scorecards of the AP and ESPN's Dan Raphael, which both also had it for Floyd, 116-112. But while there was no sustained protest from Oscar's team, there easily could have been a different outcome to this fight, okay? The final minute of the final round was the only time in the fight where both fighters really went toe-to-toe in the center of the ring for extended exchanges, doing everything they had left. And Judge Jerry Roth was the only judge to score the 12th round for Floyd. And if he had gone the other way, his scorecard would have been 114-114, and that would have made the fight a draw. Mm-hmm. Yeah, two of the judges scored the fight for Oscar in the last round. And if Jerry Ross had joined them, it would have been a draw. Yeah, and Mike Wim said Floyd Sr. dreadlocks was falling out as he was lying. Yeah, Mike, he know Floyd won. Like I said, he was just hating because Floyd had Roger as his trainer instead of him, sitting there hoping Floyd would lose. So he could say, see, I told you should have had me as your trainer. That's all that was, right? But yeah, it almost ended up a draw because two of the judges gave their last round to Oscar, but Jerry Roth went for Floyd, right? If you had it went with the other two, it would have been a draw. But instead, Floyd kept his record perfect. And that was a key element in the soaring interest that came his way in the years ahead, but hardly the only factor. The bravado of the Mexican colors and the sombrero, the sinister side of his showmanship, and the skillful precision with which he took Oscar apart were equally big factors. So the sports world had just taken its first really close look at Floyd. And whether fans loved him or hated him, they wanted to see more. They wanted to see more. Okay? After the Oscar fight, the Money Mayweather era had officially begun. And it was only a matter of time before he became the most financially successful athlete on the planet. Yeah. Money Mayweather era began after that fight. Pretty boy Floyd was put out to pasture, and the rest is history. The rest is history. Prime versus Prime. Pretty boy Floyd versus Money. I got Pretty boy. Pretty boy was more aggressive. Plus, he had those elite defensive skills Money had. But you could play devil's advocate and say Money Mayweather was a great defensive specialist. He didn't show it all the time, but he still had those same aggressive skills Pretty boy had. So, hey. But I got Pretty boy. Who you got, Mike, when Prime versus Prime? Pretty boy or Money Mayweather? Okay. But after the Oscar fight, the Money Mayweather era had officially begun. Okay. And today, it's going to be Willie Pep and Sandy Saddler series. 4-fight series between those two. Yeah. They fought a 4-fight series. And the last fight is called the dirtiest fight in history. And they were both suspended. Well, Willie Pepper had his license revoked, and Sandy Saddler was suspended indefinitely for that fight. And they could not stand each other. You didn't have to make no kind of promotion and create any kind of animosity for this fight. They couldn't stand each other. But then they became best of friends after their careers. We're going to get into it. But Willie Pep, Sandy Saddler today. It's Monday. Well, not Trilogy Monday. It's fights, classic fight series. Okay, the Pep-Saddler Series. The Pep-Saddler Series. Now, the Pep-Saddler Series, these two fighters fought a 4-fight series with Sandy Saddler winning 3 of the 4 legendary featherweight title fights, all featherweight championship fights. Known for his knockout power and aggressive style, Saddler scored 3 stoppage victories, while Pep won their second fight by unanimous decision. Now, the rivalry featured a classic stylistic matchup between a technical master against a powerful brawler. Okay, now let's look at some boxing styles. Willie Pep's boxing style was characterized by supreme elusiveness, exceptional footwork, and defensive mastery, earning him the nickname the Will o' the Wisp. Will o' the Wisp, Willie Pep. That was his nickname. And I got him number 3 or 4 all time. Sugar Ray Robinson, Ali, and then Willie Pep or Henry Armstrong. Those are 3 and 4. Whichever way you want to put it, I ain't mad at you. But yeah, those are number 3 and number 4. Willie Pep and Henry Armstrong. Okay. Yeah, it is his nickname. The Will o' the Wisp. Willie Pep, okay? So he used fluid rhythmic movement, feints, and head movement to evade punches, often making opponents miss entirely and leaving them frustrated and off balance. He was known to be so skilled at defense that he famously once won a round without throwing a single punch by using only his ring generalship and evasive skills. Yeah, that's what they say. Won a round without throwing a punch. And there was an article in the paper back then talking about that round. But a lot of people said that article was written by Willie Pep himself. So, yeah. They say Willie wrote that article about him winning the round without throwing a punch. Okay. Now, Sandy Saddler had a versatile but often rough fighting style, characterized by relentless pressure, devastating punching power, and excellent movement. He could box with a precise jab and a powerful right hand, but was also known for aggressive and sometimes dirty tactics, like using elbows and body and fists, using elbows, headbutts, and all kinds of dirty tactics to wear opponents down, which led to a 1951 suspension for roughhousing with his rival, Willie Pep. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, the first fight in the Willie Pep versus Sandy Saddler Series took place on October 29th, 1948 at Madison Square Garden in New York and resulted in a shocking fourth-round knockout victory for Sandy Saddler. The fight was contested for the World Featherweight Championship, which Willie Pep was defending for the 7th time. Yeah, all four of the fights was for the Featherweight Championship. Okay? And Pep was defending it for the 7th time in this first fight. Now, Pep, a renowned defensive master with a stellar record of 134 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. Okay? Came into that fight with 136 fights. Only lost 1 draw. He was a 3-1 favorite coming into the fight, Pep was. Now, contrary to expectations, Saddler, a powerful puncher with a significant reach advantage, went on the offensive immediately, battering Pep from the opening bell. Now, Pep suffered a bloody nose just 1 minute into the fight. And in the 3rd round, Saddler dropped Pep twice, both times for a 9 count. Okay? He dropped him twice, both times for a 9 count. Not even changing the displays. Oh, 14. Bear with me for a moment, please. I didn't even change the displays. Okay, here's where we are now. Dropped him twice, both times for a 9 count, okay? In the 4th round, a flush left hook from Saddler sent Pep to the canvas for a final time, and he was counted out, ending the fight by knockout at 2:33 of the round. Saddler's dominant and one-sided victory was a major upset that shocked the boxing world and began one of the sport's most legendary rivalries. Okay, so Saddler won the first fight. Let's go to fight number 2 in this series. February 11th, 1949. Pep versus Saddler 2. Okay. Yeah, there we are. That's where we are. Pep versus Saddler 2. The following year, 1949. Excuse me for one moment, please. Yeah, Floyd Senior. No, Floyd wasn't that fight. Sit there and hate. Yeah, hoping Floyd lose, so I can say, see, you should have had me instead of Roger as your trainer. You lost your biggest fight. Hate on his own son. Ain't that terrible? Yeah. Okay. Pep versus Saddler too. Yeah, that's crazy. February 11th, 1949. Let's get into the second fight. Now, there's a certain mystique to legendary fights of yesteryear. A nostalgia that speaks of a time when the sweet science was larger than life and ruled supreme. There are but a few wise old heads left, lucky enough to have witnessed some of the greatest fights in boxing history. But with no film to view many of them, the rest of us are left to ponder just how great they really were. The second meeting between Hartford's Willie Pep and Harlem's Sandy Saddler, a fight awarded Ring Magazine's Fight of the Year for 1949, is a perfect example of such a fight. For most of us, all that is left is the stories of the fight's immensity. Stories told through newspapermen who were on hand to witness. The words weaving a tale of the skill, bravery, and guile on display. Here's a shot of the wool over wisp, Willie Pep. Willie Pep, aka the Will over Wisp. When Pep lost his title to Saddler on October 29, 1948, in the first fight, many believed the career of one of the greatest featherweights of all time had come to an abrupt end. Okay? Yeah, many thought that was it for Willie. Pep had been knocked out in the fourth round, and the general consensus, as noted in a report in the Milwaukee Journal, was that he was finished. This is what the Journal said. Willie Pep is all washed up after losing his featherweight boxing championship to Sandy Saddler. That seems to be the consensus following Friday night's stunning knockout victory for Saddler. A lean Harlem puncher, 238 of the fourth round. That was what the Milwaukee Journal reported about the fight. Now, while Pep may well have been the best featherweight the world has ever seen, the knockout loss to Saddler, the total of some 136 fights, and the plane crash that nearly took his life in 1947 proved enough for many to label him a shot fighter. But, as the old adage goes, beware the wounded warrior. Beware the wounded warrior. Okay? Pep wanted this title back. So Willie Pep came to prominence in 1942 when he outpointed fellow Hall of Fame inductee Albert Chalky Wright at Madison Square Garden in New York. He would be 62-0 before his first professional loss, a non-title decision to lightweight champion Sammy Angut. The loss meant little in the featherweight division, however, as Pep still ruled supreme, and he would go unbeaten in another 72 straight fights before running into the heavy-handed Saddler. Well, he was 134 wins, 1 loss. He did have a draw in there. Okay? He won his first 62 fights, had a loss, had a draw in there somewhere, and then he won 72 more without losing. Okay? And here's a shot of Sandy Saddler of Harlem, New York. Took Pep's title in the first fight, 1948. Now, superlatives can't do justice to Pep's reign over the 126-pound division, but the shocking and violent manner in which Saddler had taken his crown resulted in few boxing fans believing Pep had what it took to take the title back. After all, Saddler's run to the top was when they came by way of brute force. The lanky Harlem native owned one of the sport's biggest punches, and he had dispatched many a featherweight and lightweight with his vicious punches before finally getting his chance at the title against Willie Pep. Pep vs. Saddler 2 was set for February 11th, 1949, but it took place only because of a clause in the contract between Pep and the 20th Century Sporting Club promoter Harry Markson. Yeah, it was some kind of clause in that contract. Now, promoter Harry Markson held little hope that the rematch would be a success, and the New York Times report referred to his surprise when the fight proved to be a hot ticket. Yeah, that's Harry Markson in the middle there. Okay, he didn't think the fight was going to be that much of a success, and everybody was shocked when it turned out to be a hot ticket. Markson was agreeably surprised when the box office windows were first opened and a flood of orders for tickets came pouring in. He was even more surprised when these orders continued. And then he was downright bewildered as the late rush of applicants argued a certain capacity house. What seemed a white elephant at the start was transformed into a golden calf when they promised to be worth more than $80,000 at the gate. Okay, this is 1949, $80,000 gate. Now, whether it was hope, respect, or a genuine belief that Willie Pep could in fact win his title back, it seemed as if the people had spoken. This was to be a fight of major importance. Some 20,000 crammed into Madison Square Garden, just 3 months after the young lion from Harlem had devoured his older adversary, and the crowd was on hand to see whether the once great Pep was up to the task of gaining his title back from such a ferocious opponent. Yeah, a capacity crowd was on hand to witness one of boxing's greatest fights in the featherweight division. Now the bell rang, and to the astonishment of the crowd, Pep went on the attack. He tattooed the face of Saddler with his quick left hand, landing some 37 jabs in the first round. The hand speed of the former champion was back, something many observers thought Pep had lost after watching his lackluster performance in the first fight. The New York Times called Pep's start to the fight a demonstration of blinding speed that had Sandy Saddler looking like a novice. Yet Pep came out and went right at him. Saddler marched forward relentlessly in spite of Pep's jabs, but the Harlem slickster kept his heavy-hitting rival off him by way of his counterpunching prowess, as described by the Chicago Tribune. Saddler was moving forward, measuring Willie with unblinking eyes, but Pep was too much for him with his counterpunching, but counterpunching wasn't Pep's only strategy for keeping Saddler at bay. He utilized some questionable tactics throughout the fight and was warned by the referee for wrestling in the first round and healing Saddler in the face in the third. You know, healing is using your elbows, forearms, yeah. And Pep was warned for wrestling in the first round and healing in the third round. Okay? Yeah, there's Pep on the attack. But Pep couldn't hold back forever the waves of destruction that were continually advancing. And in the fourth round, the champion began to dent the defenses of the challenger. Saddler landed savage rips to the body and grazed Pep's face numerous times, always just a few inches away from landing a blow that undoubtedly would have ended the fight. Such was the dynamic power of Saddler's fist. Saddler landed a hard left in the fifth round, opening a cut on Pep's right cheek. But the gash, which bled throughout the rest of the fight, did little to stop Pep from dominating his opponent. He landed all manner of punches over the next 6 rounds, attacking from every conceivable angle and displaying his supreme footwork while avoiding the aggressive attempts from his adversary to land a knockout blow. Yeah, that's when people always saying, oh, he don't have the power pop to keep him off. Willie Pep didn't have a lot of pop, but he was using his footwork and his movement to keep the powerful Sandy Saddler at bay. So you don't just have to have pop. You always hear people say he don't have the power to keep him off. Power is not the only thing you keep a fighter off with. How about movement, ring generalship, footwork, that kind of stuff can keep a fighter off too. And that's exactly what Pep was doing. Pep displayed amazing skills and ring generalship to keep Saddler at bay in this fight. Now Saddler started to gain momentum in the late rounds, opening a new cut over Pep's right eye in the 13th and slamming home numerous teeth-rattling shots in the rounds that followed. But Pep weathered the storm and came out with his guns blazing for the final round. As the New York Times reported, Pep gave his greatest thrill in the 15th round when, after weathering the jarring fire of the 14th, he came back to fight Saddler all over the ring with a strength that few, if any, thought he possessed. The crowd erupted when the scores were announced and Pep's hand was raised. While turmoil broke out in the garden, reported the Chicago Tribune, which was loaded with rabid Pep fans, as announcer Johnny Addo gave a unanimous decision. Yep, Pep got his title back in the second fight in the series. But remember, it's a 4-fight series. BN Boxing News in the building. What's up, BN Boxing News? I'm knocking over everything, but salute BN Boxing News. Willie Pep, Sandy Saddler 4-fight series today. I knocked something else over. I don't even know what it was. But let it stay down there for now. Okay, so yeah, Pep takes the second fight in the series. Okay? So, Willie Pep had won back the featherweight championship of the world, becoming the first man to regain the title at 126 pounds since George Dixon back in 1898. But even more significantly, he had done it in spectacular fashion. While the second Pep vs. Saddler battle had been competitive and exciting, all 3 judges scored for the famed will-o'-the-wisp by margins of 5, 6, and 7 points. The victory and the way in which Pep bucked the odds and schooled such a capable and dangerous opponent only solidified his place as one of the best boxers, pound for pound, of all time. I got him number 3, remember? Right behind Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. Perhaps the words of famed boxing scribe James P. Dawson best illustrated the enormity of what Pep had just achieved when he wrote, "Pep put up the greatest battle of his career. He called on every ounce of strength within his compact little body and all the gall he has accumulated through 11 years as an amateur and professional fighter to gain the triumph. How well he succeeded is reflected in the tabulation of the officials. And in riding the victory, he proved to be one of the greatest featherweight champions the ring has ever seen." Okay, Willie Pep got the second one. So it's 1-1. Going into the third fight in the series. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, Thomas Hill? And Al Booger in the building. Yeah, the Pep-Saddler Series. Saddler took the first fight, and then Willie Pep came out, and just like people that today don't know what they're talking about said, well, Willie Pep going to lose because he don't have no power to keep Sandy Saddler off of him. But he didn't need power. He used ring generalship, footwork, movement, all that kind of stuff to keep him off, right? You don't have to have power. It's not the only thing to keep a fighter off of. Okay? Write that down. Okay, so let's go to the third fight. It's 1-1 in the series. Willie Pep put on a magnificent performance in fight number 2 to take his title back. Each fight was for the featherweight championship. Okay? So it's 1-1. We go to number 3 between these two great featherweight, both Hall of Famers. And like I said, they didn't have to have any kind of fake promotion or stuff. These two really hated each other's guts. Okay? The fourth fight was the dirtiest fight in boxing history. Okay? Pep license was revoked. Saddler was suspended indefinitely, both fined. But Pep versus Saddler 3, September 8th, 1950. All right. There we go. September 8th, 1950. Pep-Saddler 3. To break the tie. Okay? But they didn't stop at 3. They went on to 4. Bruce Gass at Boxing Jazz and more in the building. What's up, Bruce Gass? Eddie Saddler, Willie Pep today. This is Fight Series Monday. Okay? We're going to talk about a number of things tomorrow. Then Wednesday is going to be brought to you by BBO Sports TV. We're going to take a look at Gene Tunney as requested by BBO. And then Thursday, it's Germany. We're going backwards. I got to Jay. I don't know how I missed Germany. Going to be boxing in Germany Thursday. And the profile Friday is the life and career of Mikey Garcia. Okay? But right now, Pep-Saddler 3, September 8th, 1950. September 8th, 1950. Now, Pep versus Saddler. For diehard fans of fisticuffs, those 4 syllables conjure up all kinds of recollections and images and important facts from the rich history of pugilism. This storied feud is unlike any other in boxing history, and it was their third clash that established that fact for good or ill. They were featherweights, and yet they inspired truly heavyweight interest from American sports fans. And while both, even in their day, were regarded as 2 of the greatest to ever step into the ring, mutual respect was conspicuously absent from their compelling rivalry. The simple truth was, Pep and Saddler hated each other with a passion. That's an understatement. Hated each other with a passion. Okay? There's the tale of the tape. Now, their first battle in October of 1948 was a shock for sports fans as it saw Pep, a renowned defensive genius, battered into submission and then knocked out in just 4 rounds, right? Willie Pep, one of the greatest defensive fighters. That's like Floyd getting knocked out or Sweet Pea or somebody, right? Willie Pep was knocked out in 4 rounds. That was a shocker. Now, the fight had been so one-sided that many wondered if the defeat marked the end of the road for the 26-year-old Pep. Just 26 at the time, right? And he was a truly brilliant boxer who had racked up over 130 wins against only 1 loss and 1 draw prior to this humbling defeat. Came into that fight 134 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, right? That's what shocked everybody so much. He hadn't lost in he had won 72 fights in a row, okay? But there was also the fact that Pep had suffered serious injuries, including a broken back in a plane crash in January of 1947, right? And after that plane crash, the doctor told him he wasn't going to fight anymore. Not only did he fight anymore, he fought 10 more times that year. He told the doctor, I'm going to fight again. The only thing I'm not going to do anymore is fly at night. Okay. So yeah, he fought 10 more times that year, had a broken back. Okay. And while he recorded an astonishing 26 straight wins in little more than 15 months, when he returned to action, some observers felt the cagey operator from Connecticut had lost a step since their near breast with death in the plane crash. The defeat to Saddler appeared to confirm that fact. Okay? So everybody said, see, I told you, he's done. But the following February, Pep returned and gave fans a truly gallant performance, regaining the title from Saddler by unanimous decision in 15 dramatic rounds. The victory is generally regarded as one of the greatest in the long history of the sport. And like the first Pep vs. Saddler confrontation, the fight drew a huge crowd, selling out Madison Square Garden. And so interest from sports fans remained keen for the rubber match. The showdown setting an attendance record for the featherweight division with almost 40,000 in the stands at Yankee Stadium. This time they took it outside, right? That's how much the interest was in this fight. Took it outside the Yankee Stadium for the third fight. They said the Garden ain't gonna be able to hold them. Look at the Yankee Stadium. 40,000 was in there, okay? So, despite Pep's great triumph the year before and 3 subsequent title defenses after that, between the second and third fights, the odds makers tagged Pep as an 8-5 underdog, reinforcing one of the major themes of the Pep vs. Saddler rivalry. There being the general impression that Saddler was just too big, strong, and powerful for Pep. And in fact, in the late going in the second fight, Pep had struggled with Saddler's aggression and physical advantages. Thus, the bookies saw chapter 3 of the series as a bigger and younger man's fight to lose, right? They saw the Saddler's fight to lose. Even though Pep had put on a great performance in their second fight, they still had Saddler favored. Spinal. Okay, Albert, yeah, Spinal. Yeah, and he fought 10 more times that year after that, okay? 10 more times. Them guys are just built different. The plane crash was in January. He fought 10 more times that year and 26 times in the next 15 months. Won all of them, okay? But yeah, coming into the third fight, even though Pep put on a great performance in the second fight, the odds makers still had Saddler favored, okay? 8-5 odds. So few were shocked when, despite Pep once again being a better boxer and using angles and sublime footwork to outfox the aggressor, Saddler scored a knockdown in round 3. Soon after, Pep, no doubt frustrated with the challenger's roughhouse tactics and his undeniable physical advantages, began to incorporate some less than honorable tactics into his performance of his own, right? So Pep answered fire with fire, because Saddler was known to be a dirty fighter. In addition to a pesky jab and quick combinations, Pep now incorporated some well-placed thumbs, along with plenty of pushing and shoving, not to mention a few stomps on Saddler's toes. Okay. A few stomps on his toes. Right. There's Pep on the canvas in round 3. Okay. Well, Saddler didn't need to be asked twice. He responded, because that was his kind of fight there. He responded in kind. And soon there was almost as much fouling going on as there was boxing. Pep controlled the fight for the most part with his usual brilliant footwork and quick hands, while Saddler concentrated on the ruthless body attack. And at the same time, both fighters demonstrated themselves to be certified experts at the darker arts of ringcraft, freely indulging in plenty of lacing, gauge gouging, tripping, thumbing, and elbowing. Okay. When the bell rang for round 7, it was obvious that Pep had the edge in terms of points. thanks to his superior boxing and plenty of clean right hands to the challenger's jaw. In fact, some at ringside had scored only the third round for Saddler. The champion just too quick and slippery. But at the same time, Saddler's vicious body punches, many of them straying under the belt line, were taking their toll. And indeed, a tiring Pep found himself in some difficulty at round 7, as Saddler was able to close the gap and land more heavy left to both body and head, forcing Pep back and manhandling him. Okay, yeah, plus Saddler was going south of the border quite a bit. That was his game. Once Pep started fouling back, Saddler was like, yeah, let's go, you know? At the end of the round, the fighters were locked in a vicious clinch on the ropes. And when the bell rang and Pep retreated to his corner, all could see he was in agony. The ringside physician examined the stricken fighter and diagnosed a dislocated left shoulder. When round 8 began, Pep stayed on his stool. Yeah, a lot of people say Saddler yanked his shoulder out, right? But yeah, at the beginning of round 8, he had a dislocated shoulder, so he stayed on the stool. Saddler had regained the world title, though in a manner satisfying for no one. Talk of a fourth Pep versus Saddler clash was widespread, even before the stands in Yankee Stadium had completely emptied for the third fight. They were already talking about a fourth fight. The very next day, Harry Marks, president of the International Boxing Club, declared that arrangements for Pep vs. Saddler Part 4 were already underway, already in the works, okay? It was news a bit of Pep welcomed. He got me in a double arm lock, declared the former champion. He twisted my arm twice. That's what did it, not his punches. Sure, he hurt me a few times, but I could have beat him. Yeah, Willie said Sandy yanked his arm out of the socket, right? You know, oh my goodness. Excuse me for a minute. Okay. I have so much trouble scrolling this thing down. But I poured water in my old good laptop, so I got this piece of junk. And same type of laptop. I don't know, this one just different. It's crazy. Okay, this is the newer model. It'll make stuff like they used to. But anyway, yeah. Saddler took the belt back. And that's when they were tripping and wrestling each other. There's Saddler on the way down there. Right. For his part, a cheery Saddler was unperturbed about the controversial conclusion to the fight. Saddler said, I thought a punch to the kidney did it. But if they say I twisted his arm, okay, then I twisted his arm. Saddler didn't care. He just had the belt back. That's all he cared about. After all, said Saddler, Pep did his share of rough stuff too. He thumped me in the eye, said Saddler. He did the same thing in the other fights. I told the referee, but then Pep never stopped thumbing. A year later, they battled again in a fight that was incredibly even more foul-filled and chaotic than the third fight. And once again, Pep surrendered on his stool. So let's get to the fourth fight, okay? Yeah, Saddler won the third fight, so it's now 2-1 Saddler, okay? Yeah, Al Booger, they really didn't like each other. You know, they didn't need any kind of fake buildup or fake fights and pushes like they do nowadays. Them two guys really couldn't get along, okay? Yeah, they did not need any kind of fakery. They just didn't like each other, okay? So we're gonna go to the fourth and final fight now between Saddler and Pep. But they became best of friends after their careers, though. Just go around doing exhibitions and speeches together. You know, that many battles for them, I guess you can't help but get a certain respect, you know, for your opponent, right? After that. Mm-hmm. After the way they battled, they was kicking, biting, low blows, stomping on each other's toes, elbowing, forearms, everything, headbutting. Any kind of foul that you could do in a boxing, in a fight, they did it. And they even invented some new ones. Okay. So the fourth fight, this is short. In the fourth and final meeting on September 26, 1951, Sandy Sadler defeated Willie Pep by technical knockout, RTD, after the 9th round at the Polo Grounds in New York. Yeah, this one was outside too, because they knew it was going to be another large crowd on hand. So the Polo Grounds, Yankee Stadium were big fight venues back in the 30s, 40s, 50s. Yeah. 72, because Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton 3 was at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, but they stopped having fights at those venues. Now, at the Polo Grounds in New York. Now, the fight again for the featherweight championship, this time held by Sadler, is widely regarded as one of the dirtiest fights in boxing history due to incessant fouling by both fighters. And, you know, people didn't think it was possible to be dirtier than that third fight, right? But it was. You know, it was. Look at him. Look at him. Like the WWE, right? Hey, look at that. The fight quickly devolved into a barroom brawl featuring wrestling, healing, again, you know, elbow, forearms, healing, which is, you know, elbows or forearms, the healing, eye gouging, tripping, and thumbing. The referee, Ray Miller, lost control of the fight early on. And then he even found himself tangled up with both fighters on the mat after being taken down with them after one of their many takedowns of each other. Yeah, he took the referee down with him one time. Okay, he lost control of the fight early. And he got mixed up with them trying to get him apart, and they took him down to the mat with him. Okay? Right? So, Pep was forced to quit on the stool after the 9th round due to a severe deep cut over his right eye. Last time it was the 8th, remember? This time the 9th. Due to a severe cut over his right eye that was bleeding profusely and obscuring his vision. There were also claims that a dislocated shoulder was actually caused by Sadler's rough tactics in a clinch or push was a factor. Yeah, we had that one in the first fight. I mean, the third fight, and that was still bothering him in this one, right? Now, despite the stoppage, the fight was close on the judges' scorecards at the time of the stoppage. One judge had Sadler ahead, another had Pep ahead, and the third had it even. Okay, so it was a draw at the time of the stoppage. The Associated Press also had the fight scored as a draw after 9 rounds. Okay. The New York State Athletic Commission was so incensed by the unsportsmanlike conduct by both fighters that it revoked Pep's license and indefinitely suspended Sadler, a ban which was temporarily upheld but in several other states also. The fight has since been named one of the dirtiest fights of all time by the Ring magazine. Okay? One of the dirtiest of all time by Ring magazine. This victory gave Sadler the definitive edge in their legendary 4-fight rivalry, with a final record of 3 wins to Pep's 1. All Sadler's 3 wins were by knockout or TKO, while Pep's 1 win was by unanimous decision. But I take that back. Not definitive at all, because the way he won them. The only one definitive was the first one where he knocked Pep out, but the third and fourth, nah. You know. injury stopping, right? Injury stopping. So yeah, not definitive. So let's sum this one up. There's them and Harry Markson. I think he promoted all the fights. I think he was mob affiliated too. Harry Markson, yeah. Summary. He looks mob affiliated. Look at it. But anyway, the Pep-Saddler Series included suspensions for both fighters due to unsportsmanlike conduct. Saddler winning 3 of the 4 fights and a lasting legacy as one of boxing's most intense and controversial feuds. Now, the 4th fight was so notoriously rough and filled with fouls that the New York State Athletic Commission indefinitely suspended Saddler and revoked Pep's boxing license. The decisions were temporarily upheld by several other states. Now, the fight was labeled an extremely dirty fight by the Ring magazine, and reporters described it as closer to a barroom brawl than a title fight. This widespread criticism somewhat tarnished the public perception of the rivalry at the time. Okay? Yeah. Now, Saddler won 3 of the 4 fights, all by knockout or TKO, proving his power and physical strength were too much for the master boxer Pep in their encounters. Now, despite being the winner of the series, Saddler often felt he didn't receive the same level of public praise as Pep, potentially due to his rough style or racial factors. Okay. Despite losing the series, Pep's reputation as one of the pound-for-pound best fighters of all time was largely undiminished, especially based on his masterful performance in the 2nd fight, which he won by a clear decision. Now, Pep continued fighting for many more years after the Saddler Series. The series is remembered today as a classic, albeit extremely rough rivalry between 2 all-time greats with contrasting styles. Pep, the defensive magician, and Saddler, the rangy puncher. Now, this series is often cited as a prime example of the grit and brutality of boxing in that era. Now, both men remained involved in boxing after retirement from competing in the ring. Saddler became a respectable trainer, working with future champions like George Foreman. And Pep worked as a boxing referee and inspector. Okay? So then, Pep and Saddler became very close friends after their boxing careers. Despite their fierce rivalry in the ring, they traveled together, fighting exhibitions, and also having joint speaking engagements. Yeah, I guess you can't help but to be friends after, what they went through, right? Okay, let's see. Let's the chat up. There we go. Al Booker says, right. I was just about to say that dude looks like a straight up wise guy. Yeah, he was, Al Booker. He promoted the fights and he was part of the International Boxing Club, that was run by the Mafia, the IBC back then, yeah. Yeah, there he is. Harry Markson was his name. He got that look, don't he, Al Booker? Yeah. I thought the same thing when I first saw that picture. So, yeah, they became very close friends and they went around, traveled together doing exhibitions and having joint speaking engagements. Yeah, that's when I saw Sandy. They both had dementia pugilistica, but Sandy had it real bad. He could barely talk, when they were doing the engagements. Pep had to do most of the talking for both of them, Yeah, I seen one of them when they were doing it, speaking together. Yeah. Willie Pep did most of the talking. Sandy was in bad shape, man. So, yeah. The 4 frenzied fights they had in the 1940s and 1950s are what ultimately connected them. The story of their transition from bitter rivals to friends is a testament to the unique relationship that can develop between fighters who compete at the highest level. Yep, there you have it, the Pep-Saddler Series. Andy Sadler, Willie Pep. Okay, so let's stay in the featherweight division. All those with featherweight title fights. Let's look at the top 10 best featherweights of all time, excluding those two. They would be in the top 10, but we're going to take Willie Pep and Sandy Sadler out of it. We're going to look at the other top 10, other than Sandy Sadler and Willie Pep, okay? Other than Sadler and Pep. Top 10 featherweights of all time. Since we're in the featherweight division today. Top 10 featherweights of all time, other than Sandy Sadler and Willie Pep. Yeah, what did I put up there? Sandy Sadler and Willie Pep. We ain't worrying about y'all two, okay? Okay, the other 10. Top 10 other than Sandy Sadler and Willie Pep. Featherweights. Freddie Miller. These are real short. Freddie Miller. These are the top 10 featherweights of all time, other than Sandy Sadler and Willie Pep, because both of those two would definitely be in the top 10. You know, if we had to talk about their their 4-fight series today, both of them would be top 5, I would say. I got Willie Pep, number 3 or 4 pound for pound all time. Okay. Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, then Willie Pep and Henry Armstrong, 3rd and 4th. I can't pick which one is 3, which one is 4, but Willie Pep and Henry Homicide Hank is definitely 3rd or 4th pound for pound all time fighters, as far as I'm concerned. But Freddie Miller, okay. The Fighting Pride of Cincinnati, Ohio scored more than 200 professional wins, including wins over such fellow greats as Panama Al Brown, Petey Cerrone, Al Dundee, and Baby Arizmendi. I believe Baby Arizmendi was the first Mexican world champion, I think. Okay. Jim Driscoll. Arnie Boxing is in the building. What's up, Arnie Boxing? Jim Driscoll. But you know what? 2. Let's get some late time too, because so then we don't have to go till 6 o'clock. We can start early. But what's up, Arnie Boxing? Arnie comes on at night, 9-10, somewhere around in there. He like 30-something shows into it, maybe 40, something like that, into his podcast now. Subscribe to Arnie Boxing. Okay. Help him get monetized and all of that. You know, great podcast. Talks boxing, current events, he calls boxing, UFC wrestling, and he knows his history too. Okay. Knows his boxing history too. So great podcast. I would be old every day, but I can't stay up that late. I'm old. But I caught it the other day. I look at a lot of the playbacks, you know. Yeah. But salute Arnie Boxing. How are you today? Good to see you. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Drunk Irishman told me Oscar and Virgil trying to fight Earl Spence. What happened to Boots? But you won't hear the duck word, though. Let Boots be trying to fight Earl Spence. Everybody be calling him the biggest duck on earth. Come on, man. What's stopping this fight? They both won their last fights. Let's get it on. That's what people want. If Virgil fights Earl Spence, then he's a duck, man. I'm sorry. Instead of boot snakes. Earl Spence ain't fought since 2023. Don't even know if the man belonged back in the ring. That's who they want to fight. Come on, man. You got to call it like you see it. If that happens, man, that is not a good look for Virgil Ortiz. If he fights Earl Spence next, that is not a good look. Even the most staunchest Virgil fans should admit he ducking Jerron Booth Center. Earl Spence? This man ain't fought since 2023, man. We're not even sure whether Earl belonged back in a boxing ring after that performance that Beating Bud put on him. Everybody said hey, he didn't look right and everything. All off balance and I don't know. It's just crazy, man. Had people had their picks. What's going to be the excuse? Just come out and say I'm scared, I guess. Right? I mean, what else? Just come on and say I'm scared of it. That's all. But hey, yeah, we was looking at some of the best top 10 featherweights of all time, though. Okay. Jim Driscoll. Now, the boxer they called Peerless, one of the most cerebral of pugilists. Okay. Peerless Jim Driscoll. Vicente Saldivar. Vicente. There's Vicente Saldivar. And there's Arnie Boxing. What's up, Arnie Boxing?
How you doing, bro?
All right, how you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Just catching you off work, so today's a good day.
Cool. Yeah. What's on your mind?
So yeah, I mean, I think the first Mexican champion. Well, a couple of things. I wanted to first address something that you said about the first Mexican world champion because it's between three, right? Baby Arismendi's one of them. He's one of the
kind of faded out that time. Say that first one again.
I'm sorry?
What was it? You kind of faded out a little bit. Say it again.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear?
Yeah,
can you hear me good now?
Yeah, you was good all the way up to that first name.
So as I understand, there are three options for the first Mexican world champion. One of them is the one that you said, the Baby Arismendi guy. But you got Guida Azteca is one of them, and the other is Juan Zurita. And as I understand, some of them were telling me that it's Juan Zurita. But it's like Zurita, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that.
Salita, I believe, right? Juan Salita.
No. Salita, the promoter. No. It's I can't remember, but I think it's Zurita. Nevertheless, I will verify that for you. Yeah. Don't worry about it. But it's between the three, though. It's between them three, so not far off. Virgil is not gonna get in the ring with Boots, fellas. You can forget about that.
Then, right? Where's all the duck talk?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah, they call Boots a duck. They weren't even in the same division. Remember?
Exactly. That's not gonna happen, fellas. They know full well what's gonna happen if they fight.
They know exactly. It's gonna be another Stanionis. Yeah.
Exactly.
They know. So, did you hear somebody trying to fight Earl Spence? That's what you joke.
Yeah, I mean, and that's weird because Errol Spence went and to say hi to him right before the Lubin fight and stuff like that. So I don't understand. I don't understand. But if it happens, I'm rooting for Errol Spence.
If you don't fight Boots, even the most staunchest Virgil fans gotta call him a duck, man.
Exactly.
What else can it?
Because listen. Like, I can understand one thing. I can understand you going for a champion.
Yeah.
Like if he would have said, okay, you know what, Boots, F you, I'm gonna go for a champion, and then you get a belt, and then we unify. I would be pissed, but
Yeah.
not so much. You
But
see,
you
I
can
will be pissed,
understand
but not
that.
so much.
Yeah, you can understand that. Going for the title.
Exactly.
Yeah. But Earl Spence,
Yeah. Like, what's the point? You know?
I mean, what is beating Earl Spence going to do for him? We don't even know if
Exactly.
Earl still belongs in the boxing ring. The way he looked his last performance, then he ain't fought since 2023. It's almost 2026, man. Who wants to
Yeah.
see
Nah. Not
Virgil
good.
and Earl Spence?
Not good.
Who wants to
Not
see
good.
Virgil and Earl Spence? Probably Earl Spence, about the only one would want to see that fight. Yeah.
For real. For
Anybody in the
real,
chat
bro.
want to see Virgil and Earl Spence? Put a yes in there. Anybody who want to see Virgil Ortiz versus Earl Spence? I
Nah.
guarantee
You
there's
ain't.
nobody.
You're
Nobody,
gonna
man.
be hearing cricket. You're gonna hear some crickets
Yeah.
now, Kaz.
But then you won't hear the duck talk, though. Nobody will say duck.
I'll say it. Virgil is a
I
duck.
will too. But I'm talking about the same people that used to talk when they
Yeah.
weren't even
Yeah.
in the same division. They won't say, they won't even mention that, though. They're sugarcoated. They'll talk about everything else but that, you know? It's crazy, man.
I mean, they know what it is, though. They won't say it, but they know what it
He's
is.
scared. He's scared. He's scared.
It's just stylistic. It's a horrible matchup, bro. It's just a horrible matchup.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing with the cruiserweight boys. I mean, Zurdo is not gonna get in the ring with Jao Petaya. Forget about that.
They part
Ain't
of the
gonna
Oscar
happen.
protection racket. Part of the Oscar protection racket. Golden Girl protection.
Yeah.
Mike will start calling them Golden Girl, man. Golden Girl. Because that fits him. Might as well. I got a bunch of scared fighters over there that don't want to fight.
That's true. I like that. I like that.
You got a bunch of chickens over there, man.
And that's messed up, bro.
Stop faking like Virgil is this big monster. And just
But the thing is, if you saw the Lubin fight, right? You remember on the post fight where Virgil was the one that said, "Boots, come in here."
Yeah.
Like he's the one that said it. So I'm like, hang on a second.
I know. And then you're gonna fight Earl Spence? Why don't you just tell Earl Spence come in the ring?
Exactly.
That's just phony, man. Virgil is a very phony person, man. And
here's what I think.
This big monster or something. He gonna call.
Here's what I think happened.
Fight Earl Spence.
Here's what I believe happened. Right after all the smoke cleared, Oscar said, "Listen, kid, he's gonna massacre you. You know, he's gonna massacre you. Yeah, like." You know, let's pump the brakes here and let's get a few more wins, get that record up to 25-0 or something, and then, you know, whatever happens, you know.
Right.
But that's fucked up. I ain't gonna lie, that's fucked up because Boots gonna have to fight Bakram or maybe Fundora. Like Fundora got a date with Thurman yet, right? They postponed that thing.
You know what Oscar hoping? You know what he hoping somebody else beats Boots before he can get the verdict.
Yeah,
that's what they're hoping.
Yes. Because to be honest with you, Virgil got shot against anybody else. That's the thing, you know.
Say it again. You kind of fading out a little.
I'm sorry, I'm getting home and I live in the country, so it might be in and out now.
You good now,
but okay. The thing is, Virgil got a real chance of beating anybody else except Boots. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe Bakram not so much, but I would favor Virgil against Fundora and against Abbas Barao. Xander, because he's still young. Xander fully polished, he getting clean there too. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, bro, I'm starting to like lose interest in Virgil, bro. To be honest with you,
I've lost interest in him. When he said that 4 year nonsense, it's been 4 years. What do you need? 4 more years now? Come on, man.
But it's not just. But but it's not just because of boots. Because when are you gonna fight a champion? Like
Mm-hmm.
when are you gonna actually go for it? You know?
He's scared, I guess. I don't know. Or Oscar, Virgil is this big monster he got over there. He don't want to get in no loss.
But think about this. Think about this though. Abbas Barrow is a champion and has a loss. Fundora is a champion and has a loss as well. And Xander is about to unify and he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, Virgil? What are we doing here?
I don't know. I've been told.
Well, I don't think it's just Virgil as well, man. I think it's the whole team. I mean, when you look at the way that after the fight, they went into the ring. I mean, kudos for him allowing Boots to come to the ring, but you could tell like that's not something that they've been interested in or really look forward to. And then you could tell by the way De La Hoya was posturing when he was asked about the fight inside the ring, and then he doubled down on it and the presser after everything had settled. Like they're trying to price that fight so high, try to have a high asking point that nobody will actually purchase it or pay for it because they don't want to pay for them because they're not guaranteed commodities. They're not ever made a big, huge fight between the both of them. So it's like you can't be talking like that. I mean, if they want to fight, then we're gonna set the fight up. But the way that they talk, it didn't seem like they want to make that fight. It's like they danced around the whole damn topic of making that fight, putting that fight together. So I mean, I hope they make the fight. Just like I hope the T.O. and the freaking Shakur fight is gonna get made. I don't believe either will get made though.
But you know
I
what?
know Oscar ain't trying to lose another champion, and he don't want his train to get derailed, so to speak.
Right.
And go
They
ahead, my
can't find
bad.
nobody better than Earl Spence though for Virgil. Come on, man.
So this is the thing about Earl Spence. He didn't look good in his last fight. He hasn't been in the ring since the last fight, and that's dang near 3 years ago.
Right.
And he does have, of all the three people, Spence, Crawford, and Boots. Spence was sandwiched in between, but that's the target really because he's the only one with certified and guaranteed pay-per-view sales that are basically because of him. So it makes more sense. He looks like he's a wounded duck. He still has a draw. He still can command pay-per-view revenue. And I might be able to get in there and put hands and feet on him if I could do this to Lubin. You see, so that's what it looks more likely the route they're gonna go. But I don't know.
Would pay to see Virgil and Earl Spence that would pay to see Virgil and Boots? Huh?
I think that I would rather see Virgil versus Boots. I don't know what Earl looks like.
Yeah.
But there are people who are tied into the old thing, tied into what they believe in or what they've been accustomed to. And there are some people who would love to see my man Spence come back.
Yeah.
Not what he call ain't no tune-ups, ain't no what's his motto?
No tune-ups or something like that.
So he coming to wreck, and it's gonna be people that's gonna buy into that. I'm not sure if they really ready to spend the money on something that they're not sure people will buy into. So with that being the case, I think they mentioned it that way because that's probably the way that it's gonna play out.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. But that's how I feel.
You're right. I think it's gonna be Spence.
It just makes more sense.
Wasn't he there? Because it was in Texas.
Spence was there. Yeah, Spence was there.
Called him into the ring, then. That's what they should have called into the ring.
Because everybody's clamoring for the Boots and Virgil fight. I mean, let me say this too. I'm gonna say this. I'm not saying this is the case, but to me, it was too early for Lubin to have to be languishing on the ropes like that, allowing somebody to tuck. So I don't know if he was that tired or out of shape, or if he wasn't engaged in the fight, or what. But that fight looked extremely odd. Now the punches that landed were effective and hard punches, but the way they were allowed to be land, yeah, I'm not understanding that. He's a much better boxer than that.
The rope part of it all, man. I was like, what is he doing? Like he doing exactly what Virgil wanted them to do. You know, like come on, Luke.
It was almost like he was a willing participant. Now I'm not gonna say that, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And my bad irony. I didn't mean to.
He jumped off. He said,
yeah, I didn't mean to butt into what he was saying, but I mean that's the look that I had.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. Situation. Let's boxing now. Let's boxing the business always been in it, but nowadays, man, that's like the business side that just took completely over. You know?
Yeah, because it's so much more lucrative money being
That's the thing.
poured into it, because now you got visibility 365, 24/7. See, before you only had whatever the immediate media could outlet to the folks. Now that's just live and living color. That changes the whole game. And that's why when I said what I said about, social media and platforms like can be a benefit, but they also can be a detriment because of the way that people cover boxing or just cover things in particular. And it don't even got to be people that are quote unquote new media. It's just got to be people who have a ability to pick up a phone and say something. Oh, you a bum. You trash. You should have never been up in the ring. How they pay you for that? I could have did that. I wish you would have gotten in that ring. I wish you would have showed us how it should be done.
Yeah.
That person that you calling a bum pretty much will put hands, foot, and knees and elbows on you. And you talking about that person like that. So yeah, turn that down some. So it affects the way they can do what they can do to fighters, because let's be honest, they make the money. They push the narrative. They do everything. These fighters just go in here and bring seats. It's almost like the gladiator days. People came to that stadium not for the emperor. They came to the stadium for the action that they were going to see in the ring, and to be appeased and subdued from normal stuff that they had to deal with on a regular basis. Are you not entertained? But the thing is, the people that's entertained are the ones who's risking their lives, putting that bacon on the line. And they can manipulate that stuff by the way people respond and receive it. And that's what social media has been, so to speak, a way of manipulation. That's how come you get stuff put up in there. I mean, Kaz, man, and I'm only saying this as an example. There's no way someone. Am I too close to you? Am I too close? Do you need me to move?
No, I mean, my friender went overboard.
Oh, you're okay. Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. I just wanted to make.
Slowly reverse it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely go slow. But sorry about that, Kaz. I'm gonna say this, and I say this only because of true context. We live in a day and age, because if you have a certain look or a certain following, you can be guilty as a Mickey Fricky, and you can cast aspersions on another person because of what people believe of them. And I say that because Jake Paul has all types of problems with putting his hand on women.
Yeah.
Putting his hands on women. But he had the nerve to be righteous, son of a cuss, and say how bad it was for him to try to mix business with somebody who he previously in a press conference said it was an honor to, because he respect him for what he does and who he is to the craft. And people soak it up because they hate this dude. He has somewhat of a checkered past. And like I told somebody, I was like, yo, they called me a weird ninja too. I said, dog, you have never seen a video with him hitting any woman. You got people who got videos of them slapping the dog snot out of them or firing on them, and y'all ain't giving them that energy. But because he had yoked up a girl and took her out, which he should not have done, I stand by that. He should have never put his hands on that girl and pulled her out that stadium like that, or that arena like that. And because he hit and ran, he's guilty of everything else. When you got people who are literally guilty of it, they run around scotch-free, and they got the nerve to say what they got to say. So that's the power of social media and influence.
Yeah.
That's why they call them influencers, and we live in a time and age of influence.
You took the words out of my mouth. That's why they call them influencers. Yeah. Okay, define on it.
Hey, fellas,
Now,
I dropped off for a second.
Baby Arizmendi was the first Mexican champion, but he didn't win. Juan Zurita won the NBA in 1944, which was more widely recognized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He won the more. Baby Arizmendi won like regional, like California, Mexican, like nowadays would be something like the IBO title, and Zurita would have the WBA, WBC, WBO, the regular, more widely recognized titles. Yeah. So more historians recognize Zurita, right? Because he had the more widely recognized titles. So he is officially recognized, Yeah. He won the NBA in 1944, which was became the WBA.
Because I know who was the Puerto Rican is Sixto Escobar, and Argentina is Pascual Perez, but who's the USA first champion? John L. Sullivan or?
You mean any weight class?
I mean, yeah.
Joe Gans, wasn't it? Joe Gans.
Oh, okay, I thought it was
1902.
Okay.
Yeah, 1902.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, listen, I just heard that the first thing that T. Hill said, and it is true, it is his whole team, because I believe his father talking a whole bunch of nonsense about, that he...
Whose father?
Virgil.
Okay.
Something about an offer was sent, or I don't know, some BS.
I'm not gonna pay no attention to anything Virgil Ortiz, Oscar, or any of his teams say. They ducks, man.
Now here's a key point about this that I took away from that post fight. When they shifted to Oscar after they had that whole thing back and forth or whatever, they shifted to Oscar, and Oscar said, whatever, and then he said, but again, Virgil's the one holding the cards. In other words, Boots is going to have to take some beats. Boots is going to have to do what Floyd did against Oscar or what James Toney did against Michael Nunn in order to be the man. Otherwise, they're not going to agree to it, bro.
Probably going to have to go to Texas. The fight going to probably have to be in Texas,
He's going to have to accept a ridiculous split, too. Trust me. They're going to pull an 80-20 or some bullshit like that. Trust me.
Yeah. That's what T. Hill was saying. They're going to try to price themselves out of it.
Because they did the same with Sander Sayas, and Sander was like, "Hold on, buddy, I'm the champion here."
Right?
Like chill out. Yeah. But whatever.
If you got belief in yourself, have 50-50 neutral location. If you talking all that smack and everything, that you this monster.
I mean, to be fair, I don't mind. I mean, I can see a case. I hate it, but I see a case of Virgil being the A side because this is Virgil's 5th fight in the division, and Boots just got here. But it's not good enough for me. But I can see it,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If we're gonna be real, he is the A side because he has the biggest backer behind him. He has the biggest promoter, and on top of that, his fan base is going to be a bigger and much larger fan base. And I say that because first and foremost, he's blessed with the Latino fan base, the Mexican fan base, but then also there's the people who would love to see him whoop on a black dude. So he's got those things in his favor. But what he does have is, like you said, the savvy of Oscar De La Hoya, and he's already painting the picture that, hey, yo, we command everything. We call the shots. You're not calling anything. And because he doesn't have the leverage of a Sander Sayas, he's going to have to fall in line. But is it going to be worth taking the sell short just so you can sell out and get everything that may come to you for the beating, that you might be able to administer somebody who's been A-siding you, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that Latino fan base is a double-edged sword, bro. Because if they keep seeing you, calling people out and not fighting them, sooner or later they're gonna turn on you, bro. Trust me on that. So
No,
that's
that
a
that
double-edged
that
sword.
much is true. If you're calling folks out and you're not fighting, but if he
Yeah,
lands one of those three, and it's a good chance that he's gonna land either Spence or what's her name. I mean the freaking what's her name, the Bud fight. That flew out the window the minute that Bud beat Spence and then beat Crawford. I mean Canelo. After
Yeah.
that point in time, Bud is not entertaining any fight that's a threat, but not worth no dang high reward.
yeah. Nah, but Crawford is not in the picture for Virgil, and thank God for that because I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't even look at that as no threat.
But yeah, I mean, all things considered, bro. If Virgil doesn't fight Boots after he's told him come here, because I saw that with
He's
my
a
own two
chicken.
eyes,
He's a
okay.
duck. That's the way I
Yeah,
look at
and
it.
I foresaw it. I was excited because I was like, man, there's no way that this ain't happening after this.
Right?
The kid
That's
in
what I
me came
thought.
out, but
That's what I thought.
when the smoke clears and the dust settles and we got our 2020 eyesight, he ain't gonna get in the ring with Boots Ennis, bro. It's not going to happen. Turkey was gonna have to offer so much money where it's like, listen, kid, you're gonna get killed here, but look on the bright side here. Look at all this money. That's it, bro. Otherwise, not happen. They're gonna pull some 90-10s. They're gonna give Boots every reason. Here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna give him a bullshit offer, and then they're gonna say he ducked. That's what
Yep,
they're
that's
gonna
what
do.
they're gonna
Trust
do.
me on that one.
And his Virgil fanboys will run right behind you. Hey, you ducked. And all that kind of dumb shit.
Yeah, and I hope they come into my channel so I can squash their heads.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
nevertheless.
will too. Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I mean,
then
I'm starting to
Spence.
not caring, honestly. I'm starting to not care about Boots because, I mean, I'm sorry about Virgil because
Virgil.
Boots.
I've been past Virgil. I think he's
Listen,
overrated anyway.
yeah, I mean, Boots get you the winner of Bakram
I'm not sure.
oh man,
I'm not sure about him being overrated. I don't believe that he's overrated. I believe that he's out of practice. He ain't had many fights in a long time, so you lose a little bit of your timing and things like that. He definitely got some goods with him though. Yeah, he got some stuff you got to watch out for. It's just that him having it sharp. It's like you got that Ginsu, but that Ginsu been sitting up and ain't been used, and some of the tarnish done came off that bad boy. That's where he at, but he got some stuff. I mean, like I said, I believe Lubin didn't give him the very best of challenges that he could do,
No.
but what he did do, you clearly could see that he's got dynamite in them gloves, and if you get hit, it's a possibility you could get wobbled. And he definitely has killer instinct to finish. But I agree with you. He's not the boogeyman type that they're
Been
trying to
on the
make
mat
him
a
out to
lot
be.
of times too now. Virgil been on the mat a lot. A
yes,
lot.
and I mean Virgil. I mean, okay, so I agree with what T Hill just said. But if you're okay, he got a Ginsu knife, but Boots got a flexible sword. So it's a little bit different. But if you're Boots, bro, get you the winner of Bakram and Josh Kelly, or get you the
Yeah.
winner of
Forget Virgil.
Fundora and Keith
Virgil.
Thurman. Exactly. Let him keep
Let him go.
defending his interim
Just like
title.
Benavidez did Canelo. He said, "Forget Canelo. I'm moving on."
Yeah, like do your thing, get you a real
Yeah.
belt, and let him
Right.
keep defending his little interim title.
That's all. Yeah, forget him. Because he's scared of you. Like Canelo was scared of Benavidez. Just move on.
But I agree with what Irony said. Yo, you bring me in there, you tell me come here. That means the next fight is coming here too.
It's gonna be you.
So it shouldn't be no mention of anybody else. It
Never.
should be, yo, I brought you here. You here? No, you here? You came here. I'll let you come in this ring. So what we talking? What we got to do to make
We
this
Nate.
fight?
We Nates.
And when Boots got in there, for some reason, one of the Virgil dudes got behind the Boots, and I was like, hang on a second, what the fuck are we doing here? But thankfully, nothing happened. But
No. I rock with that because if something should pop off, we gonna subdue that stuff real quick. Cause he the money.
nah.
He the money ticket. You can't let nothing pop off. And sometimes people come up there with funny energy. And like I say, unfortunately with us as folks, people suspect and always expect the worst from us. So
Yeah.
they was just preparing for the worst. I feel what you're saying, but I understand the reason why they did it, just in case. But they don't know who Boots is. Boots not that dude. Boots do his talking in the ring, and you can clearly tell by the way he was doing the talking in the ring. Like talking junk, just
Yes.
not his a strong suit. He not a trash talker.
Mm-mm.
And he should have just stuck it to, yo, you know what? We get in that ring, you're gonna find out just how good you is and how great I am. And that's all I'm gonna say. Right now you did your job. You did your thing. Can't nobody take away for your performance. But when I get in there, my performance is about to show you why I shine bright. That's what it
I
should
just
say.
ain't
Thank
feeling
you.
no Virgil and Earl Spence, man. I'm just not feeling that.
Thank you
I
for
mean, I'm
saying
not
that. By the
feeling
way,
no Earl
that's true.
Spence. Come on, man.
Nah. That's. I mean, Errol. I was thinking about it the other day when I was doing one of the lives. I was thinking about who could Errol Spence, if he is coming back, who could he fight? And Jermel Charlo. The name Virgil didn't even cross my mind,
Mm-mm.
to be
No.
honest with you. So
So Spence came and showed up because you know what? He's a prominent factor in the sport still. And you know what? If I show that I'm in here, like I'm really out here in these streets, I can get that fight. So he trying to line that fight up. Trust and believe, because he trying to get back into the thick of things, and that will be a fight that will catapult his name right back into the thick of things. If he go up in there and handle Virgil, even though Virgil really ain't had much of body work at that division, people gonna be like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, Spence is back." So that puts him at the precipice of any fight that should be made that makes sense or means anything at
Yeah.
54. Now that being said, I think Charlo was there because possibly that
Hmm.
might be the route that Boots has to go. So
Okay.
Boots might have to go through Charlo. Now
Hmm.
he was up there panhandling because unfortunately he done fell off a little bit in
Oh
these
yeah.
later years. But Charlo still got some stake in things because he should be
Yeah.
recessed, right?
Yeah. He should be.
Virgil's had 5 fights at 54. I would say he's had a pretty good body. I mean, not for nothing. I'm not a fan or anything like that, but this
Mm-mm.
was Virgil's 5th fight in the division. So as far as body of work, he is. I can't deny that. You know, but fighting somebody, it's like Fundora. Like you have all these options, and then you're fighting an old Keith Thurman coming off of Brock Jarvis.
Yeah. Come on,
Like
man.
like nah, I'm not going. I'm
Mm-mm.
not going. But it's weird, bro. It's weird because a minute they're all set. Let's make this fight, this and that, and then literally less than 24 hours later, no, it's Errol Spence. So
And
you
this
know
is
what,
somebody you've
bro?
been saying been ducking you too. You
Right,
said Boots been
right.
ducking him. So now that the man is right there in your face. And then you're gonna
Why
say Earl
would
Spence?
Boots be? Why would Boots be ducking Virgil, bro? You don't even have a real belt to begin with.
And he wasn't even in the same weight class.
Come on,
Ever since
guys.
he been at 54, all that's been coming out of Boots' mouth has been Virgil. He
And
wanted
not
to
for
fight him in August of last year, but Oscar said no. He wanted him to be his first fight at 54. So I just ain't feeling Virgil. I don't care what nobody say, man. Virgil is a duck and overrated.
he
He
is,
ain't
and
this big monster
I
that
do think
everybody
he's
claim he
overrated.
is, man.
I do
He
think
ain't
he's overrated.
big
I do
monster
think so.
everybody claim he is, man. No.
Nah.
Because
A
he's running from
boogeyman,
Boots.
a
If he
boogeyman
was,
is Jayo Petaya. That's a
if he
boogeyman.
was, Boots would be next. Earl
Yeah.
Spence's name wouldn't even be in the conversation. Nowhere. It would be Boots and Virgil. Where the hell Earl Spence come from?
Now
Virgil
let's
is
play
an
along.
overrated duck, man. He's an overrated duck.
let's
Okay,
let's
that's
play
how I feel
along
about it.
here. Let's say that Virgil and
He's an
Errol Spence
overrated
does
duck.
happen. I'm gonna tell you something, Cass. I hope Spence cleans his clock, bro.
I doubt it.
I
I
doubt
got
it
Virgil
too,
in that
man. I doubt it too.
one.
That's
Earl
the
is
thing.
washed up. You bad news, man. The man ain't fought since
Yeah.
2020. We don't even know if Earl even still got business in the ring. We need to see if we get somebody else before Virgil.
Right.
Come on, man. Let's be realistic here. Earl
That's more
Spence,
likely the route they go,
everything is
though.
mud.
That's more
He got
likely the
the shit
route they
beat out
go.
of him. Then he gonna
Yeah,
jump right back in there against Virgil.
but you know what? That happens in boxing, and they can explain that away. They can
But then
really
he ain't
explain
fought
that
since
away.
2023, T Hill.
I know that's what they can't explain away. Like,
Right.
why has it been so long since you've been in the ring? Like that's problematic because that don't I've seen people. Nobody
This
got
new
whooped
Virgil coming
more
out.
so than Arturo Gotti got whooped by Mayweather, but he got back in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like Earl didn't really get whooped that bad. He just got beat
Yeah.
for a
But
couple
it
of
ain't no good
rounds.
look for Virgil to be. That's who you calling out. You supposed to be this big monster. You calling out a
I
man who
mean,
ain't
the
fought
thing
since
is that
2023.
Errol had a
Come on,
few
man.
other things going on. T Hill, if you remember, he had
Yeah.
I think something with his eyes,
That's
and
who Virgil calling out, man.
yeah.
This big bad killer.
Irony,
They
that
both
man
see
had
something.
something going on with his head. He went
Man.
out the window going 100 miles per hour and
Man, y'all
smacked
got to get
against the
off of this
pavement.
Virgil
You know,
nonsense.
Yeah, like it's a
that I
Yeah.
think
miracle.
that is starting to catch up to him. And I think that's why he hasn't been back. I don't think he's got clearance. You know what I'm saying? I think he might be showing up just because he's tired of sitting back. You know, he still want to go out there and get that big paycheck out there that's waiting for him. But I don't know. I don't know if he's fully screened or cleared. I don't know. So he could be. But I do know that the more you see him, and he looked good when he was out there. He looked real good when he was out there. Maybe he is lined up with a fight or they're lining up a fight.
Yeah.
But if he mentioned his name, I would have to think that would be the fight that they actually go to. I think
Yeah.
Boots is just to build the buzz. I think Crawford is because of the lore, and I think that Spence is the one that they're really trying to target because
They
that's the
think
one they
this
feel
is
like.
safe fight for him. That's what it
Yeah, I
is.
think that's the one they feel most confident with. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
That's what it is. If you're
I
right,
could be I could be
100%
wrong, but
right. I agree
yeah.
with you on that.
And I agree with Irony. I don't know why you would bring him up. Why would you bring him up? You said that too, Kaz. Like, what does he serve for you? You're trying to
Yeah,
go to a belt. He doesn't have a belt,
Nothing.
and he hasn't been in a ring in 3 years.
And
Why would you call him out?
he might only put you in line for a belt, beating Earl. That don't line you up for
he
no
had
title
he
fight.
had he. You remember when Leonard did that to Hagler? That's what Virgil did to Boots. He went all the way out there
Yeah.
for a nothing burger.
You hear him say he retiring. Exactly. That's a good point. Yeah.
Not
He came
exactly the
all the way
same
to the
thing,
Sugar
but
Ray press
not
conference. He
far
told
off.
Hagler, I'm retiring. You could have
No,
watched
he
that
went
on
he
TV.
went out there. Now I rock with why he went out there. You go
Mm-hmm.
out there because you got to give the impression you want the fight.
Yeah.
And like that's old school. So you could tell his dad had some part of that. Like, no, you go out there and you show up.
That's
Cause
right.
you're up there in your front row, then they know you there
Yeah.
for a reason. You're not there just for your health.
Because he thought
So,
Virgil wanted to fight too. You know.
well, I don't think that Virgil don't want the fight. It's more so the people that's handling his career.
I agree with that. I agree with. I don't want to let Virgil completely off the hook, but the one with the most blame is clearly the people around him,
Yeah.
specifically his daddy
Clearly,
and Oscar, specifically. Yeah,
absolutely, clearly, them. He may not be in full, like for totally on board,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, hey, I'll be honest with you. They in there to make money. They getting hit on their head and in their gut because they get paid very well.
Mm-hmm.
If I go in there against Boots and I can't get more than I can, if I go in there against Spence, I'm going in there against Spence.
You think he'll make more against Earl than against Boots?
I don't
yeah,
know. I
yeah.
honestly
I
don't
ain't
know,
heard
but I
nobody.
believe
I've
so.
been hearing people all year say Boots and Virgil. I ain't heard
I
nobody say
but it's the
Virgil and
threat
Earl.
level. But it's the threat
Huh?
level. I think that's what T Hill's referring to. Like the threat level will outweigh the less money that they make, and in their eyes, you
And then
know.
there's the people who put on fights. Like, yo, who gonna put the fight on? And are they more comfortable paying for a Boots fight as opposed to a Spence fight? I mean, say what you want in the beating he took by Crawford, he still was fighting. Even though he didn't look like he had any business being in the ring, he still came forward. He didn't get his Lubin on. What did Lubin do, bro? Like literally, what did Lubin do?
He went through he went through the ropes willingly to get eaten alive, and he got eaten
You
alive.
That's
you
what it
know
is.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one of the scouting reports is stay off the ropes, nigga. You go straight to the ropes.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't
Virgil
believe
didn't
it,
even beat
bro.
him to the ropes. He went there on his own.
He
In my
went to the ropes, Kaz. That's what I'm
bro,
saying.
in my commentary, I was saying that I
On
was like,
his
why would
own.
you go to the ropes
Yeah.
this early against this guy? Why?
You're
I
not
don't
even
get it.
tired. I could
I
have went in
know.
there and not been tired in the first round because that was early in the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because he just tired. My man just tapped out because he ain't got no energy. But why you do that?
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's fucked up. But enough about Lubin. I mean, listen, Errol Spence. Listen, let's forget about the Bud Crawford. Listen, you lost to one guy. That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, give me another profession in this world where you got one person doing it better than you, and you get called trash for it. Give me one profession that does that, bro.
Oh
Only
no no
this
no
one.
no no! I hear you with the calling them trash. I'm not calling them trash. The
Right.
fact that it's been 3 years since that
Yeah.
fight, I don't understand. You saw how he went into that fight. Like if
Yeah.
you're honest, just being honest, man. Not me, because I'm not no fanboy of nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I have only my allegiance to one person alone, and it ain't no fighter. So
Right. That's
I
right.
saw what I saw going into that ring. When I saw him go into that ring, I said,
Yeah.
"Uh-oh, something don't look right."
Mm-hmm.
But before that, when he was back there getting interviewed, the Mickey Fricky was looking like he was zooted. Like
Oh.
something wasn't right. He was not right. His eyes was glassy.
Yep. I was getting ready to say that to you.
No, and
You
I'm
know,
not and I'm not making no excuses, and I'm not trying to talk about him.
he was
But
looking
it just
spacey.
didn't look right. And then when he started walking to the ring, he looked like he didn't have balance on him.
Yep.
When he started going up there and throwing punches, his punches was weak as hell.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he was off balance
It looked like
to
he
me.
just been in a fight. It looked like he just been in a fight.
Yeah, it looked like he just, yeah, man. Or
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
how you get hit, you suffer a concussion
Mm-hmm.
or some stuff like that, and you're just like,
Yeah.
you looped out or you spaced out. That's what it looked like.
He never looked
And
like
I'm
that
not
before
taking
a
nothing
fight.
away from Crawford, because
No.
Crawford was fantastic, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was up with him.
Mm-mm. He never looked like that before a fight.
Yeah,
Not even close.
and maybe at his best he still don't have enough to overcome Crawford, but it don't look like that.
The first
Mm-mm.
round was pretty good. I will say that
No.
much in favor of Earl. The first round wasn't so bad.
That's what my cousin said. He was like, "Yo, I think Crawford got the first one." I said, "Nah, man." I mean, Spence got the first one. I said, "Nah, man. I think Crawford was just filling him out, and he felt like he ain't had nothing to worry about." I was like, "Dude, I've never
Yeah, Bud.
seen him that off balance.
Yeah.
He was
I
off
kind of
balance."
like Bud carried him. Like he could have got him out of there sooner. Like he carried him a
Bud
little bit.
definitely was carrying him. I mean, if we're gonna be
Didn't
honest,
he? Didn't
he
he?
was not.
Yeah.
He was not putting it on him as bad as he could have been.
Oh
He was
no.
there for the taking.
Not like he usually finished people off.
Yeah, you get the
Right.
feeling that he
You
could have
know?
stopped him way earlier. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
'Cause
did
Bud
too.
is a killer when
Yeah.
he gets in trouble, man. You know?
But listen,
And yeah.
Errol, not for nothing, bro. Errol's beating a bunch of dudes that fight just like Virgil fights. Not for nothing. He's beating a
True.
bunch of dudes like that,
Yeah.
man.
True.
If that
But
boy was
that's the
undefeated.
Earl that was fighting at least 2 times a year.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
That's the
Just
time
hadn't
off.
fought once in 3 years.
Yeah, that's what got me to heal the time off. I'm
he
not
just
That's the
disappointed
squashed.
in you.
thing,
He
man.
squashed
I
my
tell you
argument.
this. I'll tell you this, because Define Irony, I know you know too. Kaz, I know you definitely know, because this was your time.
Mhm.
Your boy went to jail and then was off another year. And he didn't come into that ring cash as clay. When he
That's
went to
right.
jail, he was cash as clay. He came back. He really came back Muhammad Ali, because he was not the same fighter that he was. And that was him not taking no beatings. That was him not going through no car accidents. That was just him having time off, not being able to hone that craft and sharpen them knives that he got. And he never could recover that same special aura that he had in the ring over folks. He still was better than folks. He
Yeah.
just didn't have that. Well, damn.
You
Yeah,
just made a good point to you. Muhammad Ali was still good enough to be the best. But can Earl do that after this time? Earl ain't Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Can he
he's
come
no
back and
Muhammad
still
Ali.
be good like that? or
I
He's
think he
not.
should fight somebody else, bro. Seriously, I
that's
would
what I
fight
think.
like number
He don't
number
believe in tune
11,
ups.
number 8,
All
someone
right.
like. I mean,
But
listen, I hear you, but given the circumstances, bro, like you might want to make an exception this time.
like T Hill said
Like
earlier,
seriously,
that's his
you
motto:
know.
no tune ups. He sticks to that. No
No
tune
tune-ups
ups.
and maximum
Right.
bang for your buck. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting maximum buck for my bang in his
Yeah.
case. Like,
You
yo,
gotta be
I'm
smart, bro. You
That's
gotta
his
be
motto:
smart,
no
also,
tune
man.
ups.
Like
I don't
I
do
don't know,
tune
man.
ups.
Like I
But
wouldn't
I
do
hear
that,
you too,
honestly.
Arnie. In this case, you
Yeah.
do need to make an exception, just
no,
to see.
absolutely.
Just to
Absolutely.
see. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's a huge mistake.
And the same
Yeah.
for Bubu Andrade. Like if Bubu Andrade decided to come back, I would be like, I wouldn't put him in there with Diego Pacheco or Billy or someone
No.
like that. I would be like, listen, get you a comeback win, get your feet wet, and then we can talk.
Right.
Let's just be smart about this, man.
Yeah.
Because if you come back and then Virgil decapitates you, then forget about it.
That's it for you.
Like
It's
yeah,
over.
Yeah, another bad outing, and then yeah, there won't be
you see
bodies
what I
that will
mean?
sanction the
You see what
fights.
I mean?
Yeah,
So nah, bro. You need to look at big picture here. Like
Yeah.
let's do an exception here for God's sakes. Like let's just be smart and get you somebody, whatever. Get you a Charles Conwell. Get you a I don't
Unless
know, somebody like
he
that.
just trying to get one more payday, and he willing to say that's it, because if he go in there and
You know
get
what I
beat up
wouldn't mind?
bad by Virgil,
I,
that's it
ju-
for him,
you
man.
know what I wouldn't mind, bro? Get you either a Team Sue or a Keith Thurman. I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
him and
that
Keith.
actually makes sense,
They was
especially
talking
Thurman.
about, yeah, that would be good. Yeah,
That kind of makes sense. They had some beef back in the day. They got
yeah,
unfinished business. Let's settle this.
right. Keith wouldn't fight him when he was young, so then when Keith wanted to fight, he said, "You didn't fight me, so I'm not gonna fight you." So y'all
Right.
both even, so fight now. You
Exactly.
got
We're
him
one
back
on
for not
one.
fighting
We're
you,
one
so
on
fight
one. Let's
now.
get the tiebreaker.
Right.
Let's do it.
You got him back.
Um,
you
but
know,
who
that
knows,
would be
man?
good, Keith and Earl. I like that. What you
yeah,
think
that
about
would be
that
a
one,
good
T?
fight. And I think the way the circumstances have changed, it'd be a fight that he should be a little bit more inclined to accept because I
Mm-hmm.
understand why he didn't want to the first time, but
Yeah,
hey,
I like that.
such is life, man. A lot of times things don't always go the way that we hope or we
Right.
expect. But
I like
that
that.
being the case,
Yeah.
you want to take something that's good and beneficial for your career.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there with somebody that's razor sharp and that's been fighting while you ain't been fighting, and you still got some things that people are questioning about you. That
Right.
ain't the move to make. So with that not being the move to make, then you make the move that's best for you, and I think that's what he need to do because
Yep.
yeah, man,
And you
that's
look
my
good.
dude. Now I rock with Earl, one of the fighters I really rock with because I rock
Yeah.
with how he handled himself in the ring. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And then outside the ring, what I know of him as far as the party and stuff, I don't know, but I do know that he say, "Yo, you know what? We can run it. I like
Right.
that. We can run it. Let's run it."
Yeah.
But now you need to run yourself to what's gonna be the best for
For
you
you. Yeah.
going forward because these people don't care about you. They don't. They only there to make profit off of you.
That's all.
And if your profit margin is low,
They're
they
gonna throw
gonna
you.
treat you low.
They're gonna throw you away over to the used pile and move on to the next
It
one.
is what it is. But
It's boxing,
I
man.
mean, if you're Earl Spence, this is I'm probably gonna talk about this on my live tonight because this is interesting. Because
You try to
if you're
be
Earl
there.
Spence, what is the best move? Is the best
Yeah.
move Virgil? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a good set. Yeah.
I can see a Jermel Charlo. I can see that, with that whole picture of the lion eating the
Keith
fish
Thurman.
or whatever.
Keith would take
Um,
that fight on it if
I
Earl
think
called him
that's
out.
the best option, but Keith is gonna
Yeah.
fight Fundora, so we'll have to see how that whole
Oh,
thing,
when is
plays
that?
out. They
When is,
postponed it. I think now it's
that's what I
either
thought.
January or something like that.
Yeah, I know they postponed.
You see the co-main
Oh, I
got
thought it
moved
was
to the.
off. Oh, they
No,
still having that though?
no, they
Now they
postponed it.
just
But
moved it. Yeah, they
Oh,
moved
okay.
it.
you see, they're no longer gonna have Oshaki and Fulton because they're fighting now on the Pitbull on their card and Roach on their
Yeah,
card. You know,
yeah, but
so
they
we'll
still
see.
fighting.
We'll
Yeah.
see
Also,
what they
Keith
do.
is
But
out. Who else could he fight?
I would say if you're Errol Spence, wait for Keith and Fundora to settle their thing
Yeah,
and go after whoever
it's been
loses.
all this time, so a few more
Or
months ain't
Jermel
gonna hurt him.
Charlo. Or
Yeah.
Jermel Charlo. Those are to me the clearest two options, because both of those will make money. Like Thurman and Charlo,
Oh,
the
definitely
both of those
Jamel
fights
will.
are that
Yeah,
build
him
for
and
that
Jamel
fight,
would make
man,
some nice money.
for
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
because they were both with the same trainer. They was in the same camp one time. Remember, same stable. You remember?
Exactly. With Derek
So yeah,
James and Frank
yeah,
Martin
that
and
would
all
be
the
that
rest.
would make money there. Yeah, him and Jamel, I think. And they
But
both been out. That would be a good move. That might be better than Keith.
yeah, yeah, I think so too. I'm saying Keith because of the history more than anything. But
They
if
both
none of
been out.
those
Yeah.
now here's the question: if none of those options are possible, you're gonna have to fight somebody lesser known, like a Charles Conwell or a
Yeah.
freaking
Ain't
or
nothing wrong with that.
Garcia or someone like that. Maybe
Everybody
Jesper
would
Thomas.
understand that, he just getting his feet back wet and everything, with nobody knocking for that. Fighting a
Right.
lower level contender. So
Shit, you can
nobody
fight
knocking.
Erickson Lubin for all I care. You can fight Erickson Lubin if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
I have
mean,
to pick Earl
why
in
not?
that one.
Get your hand raised, and then all of a sudden you're a name again.
Yeah, Lubin, man. I'm disappointed in Lubin. I'm not saying he would have won, but it looked like I don't know. I ain't gonna say he
I
was
had a great fight. I had at least a competitive fight, at the very least. But golly, bro, like nah, he got eaten alive, bro.
and maybe Virgil would have got him on the ropes eventually, but it looked like he put himself on the ropes.
Literally, like Virgil did
Crazy,
nothing
man.
to get him on the ropes, not even a jab.
Nothing. He just went there. Like, come and get me.
Man,
This is crazy. I was
but we'll see,
disappointed.
man. We'll see how that whole thing. This is Connor Ben, right? This Saturday is Eubank and Ben too, right?
Yeah. This dead second time. Who you got on that
Oh,
one?
Eubank all day,
Yeah,
every
you
day.
back again?
Stop it.
Similar
Stop
to
it.
the first fight. Decision, yeah.
He gonna stop him. He gonna
You
stop him
think it's
because
stopping this
Womack.
time? Okay.
Yeah, because Womack is gonna make the difference.
Yeah. You
Well,
didn't have
Bomac
Womack
might make the difference, but I think also just being acclimated to that small weight for him is going to make a difference too. I mean, if he wasn't so depleted last time, I thought he would have knocked him out, man. He was over there tagging
Yes.
him the whole fight. He's just a better fighter than Ben.
Yeah.
Ben is like the firework. You know the smoke firework where it turned
Right.
into a snake. It light up and sizzle, and then it just start
Yeah.
going into a snake. That's what he is, man. He
Yes.
sizzle and then he snake at the same time. He not.
I can't stand that boy, bro. Oh, so you know what's funny? I never liked Eubank, but Conor Benz made me like Eubank.
Who
Now
else on that
you
card? Any
kind
other names on that card?
Jack Catterall versus Echo Esselman is the
Oh, okay.
co-main, but the card is
That
pretty.
catalog got Bozy now, don't it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
he's in Philly training, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. But I'm not gonna lie, the card is pretty top heavy.
Yeah. Okay. Not too bad. This weekend. And then
I think T Hill was saying something. Go ahead.
go ahead,
Oh
take it.
no, man! I'm listening now, man. Sorry about the noise in the background. Let me mute up.
In 2 weeks we got Devin. What is it? 2 weeks from Saturday, right? Is it
Yeah,
Devin
the
and
next
Dino?
this Saturday is the UK card, and then the other one
In the
is
nation.
the
A
big
week.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. A week from Saturday.
Thank you for saying that, because not for nothing, bro. And T Hill's probably gonna laugh at me now, and justifiably so. But
Mhm.
I'm thinking about flipping. I'm gonna flip on. I'm gonna go for B Norm the Storm now, bro. I'm gonna flip
Okay.
like a pan. I rarely do. I'll do that
Yeah.
sometimes. But
Yeah.
I'm about to flip like a pancake. I'm not
That's
gonna lie,
normal.
because I like
Yes.
everything I'm hearing from B Norm the Storm, bro. That kid.
Okay.
I'm. You know what? I'm a fan of Brian Norm, bro. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna stop the
Okay.
bullshit. I'm gonna stop the nonsense. That guy, and he talks like a boxer. He acts like a fighter. Bro, I love it. I love it.
I still got Devin, man. I think he's gonna.
But I still think it's
possibly make
50-50, though. I still think it's a 50-50 fight. I'll say that much.
I heard somebody saying yesterday, Devin don't have the pop to keep him off. But again, you don't have to have pop. There's movement and all that kind of stuff will keep a fighter off for you too. Right. It don't have to be
Devin
power.
has a great
I
jab.
feel you, Kaz. I feel you, Kaz. But the thing is, man, like you, when you first started to where you are now doing what you do,
Hmm.
it's like clockwork now. And
Yeah.
mainly because you got experience, but also you got confidence in what you're doing. The
Right.
thing with me to Devin Dog is that I don't know where his confidence level is at because of that
Yeah.
fight that he took, and the subsequent being memed, the
The
being
Ryan fight.
memed, and the worst meme of all, man. This is the worst meme of all because we got a saying that we say we beat the ish out of folks. There was a part
Hmm.
where he was on his knees, bent over, and you could see stains coming from where stains shouldn't be coming from,
Hmm.
and they went wild with that. He
The
said he was a
backsides.
C levels fighter. He was garbage. This and that and this. And then when he went up in there for the most part, he controlled the fight. But when he didn't, hey, we'll be there in a second.
Finish it.
Sorry about that.
It's all good, bro.
We was talking
My
about
bad.
Devin.
But
We was talking about
Devin.
Devin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No.
Yeah, but Devin has to
We
get
were talking
himself
about the
together
Ryan fight.
mentally and
Yeah.
not worry about what took place in that ring, not worry
Yeah.
about what took place the fight after, but go in
Hmm.
there and do what it has to do to get it done, and then he'll be all right. But if not, we can't ignore the fact that Norman is a
Yeah.
great boxer. Well, not a great boxer, but a very good boxer. He has excellent,
Hmm.
purposeful feet. You know what I'm saying? It's not the upper echelon, but it's
Yeah.
top level.
Hmm.
And you know,
I
we
wanted
gonna
to
see,
also.
man. I mean, he's not beyond the ability to do it, but in order
Right.
for you to like, man, when I rode the bike, the first time I rode it, I fell. I rode it again and I
Hmm.
wobbled, but I was driving. I mean, I was
Right.
rolling, but
Yeah.
eventually I failed. But when I got to
Hmm.
the point where I wasn't worried about falling, and I
Hmm.
actually knew I could hold that bike up, man, I was
Yeah.
flying on that bad boy. He got to get to that
Yeah.
point where he could fly in that ring again.
Yeah.
Because if
He
he
might
can't
do
fly in
that.
that ring again, you ain't gonna be able to just do what you did to Ramirez to
He might.
Brian Norman, because Brian
He
Norman there
might
to
be
fight.
there. He might have his mind back together. We don't
That's
know he
very
don't,
well said. That
but he
was
might
very
have his
well
mind
said.
back together though. I'm banking on that he is right mentally.
I
But
wanted to also talk a little bit about Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason because I've been
oh yeah,
watching Sam Noakes a lot
oh
these
yeah, that's
days,
on that card too.
and
Hmm.
because I've seen Abdullah a lot already. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch some of him, obviously, but
Hmm.
Sam Noakes so far, and some of you gentlemen can feel free to chime in here because
Hmm.
I see Sam Noakes as the UK version or the English version of Pitbull Cruz a little bit. Like he
Okay.
doesn't have the skills, but he
Right.
definitely can crack.
Yeah.
So Abdullah is gonna have to be, in my opinion, very smart in this
Hmm.
fight. Because
Yeah.
Abdullah, for some reason, he gives me the impression that he's one of those that can get easily lured as well to a firefight against
Hmm.
somebody.
Yeah.
We saw that against Johan Vasquez, needless to
Right.
say, obviously. So
Hmm.
this kid can crack. This kid can put pressure on you.
Yeah.
Sam Noakes, that is,
Right.
but he doesn't have the skills to hang with him on a boxing match.
Yeah.
So that
I see what
that's
you're saying.
that's my only concern about Abdullah. If you get clipped with some crazy stuff and then you
Hmm.
start like doing a rock'em sock'em with him, who
Right.
knows what could happen. So if I'm Abdullah, bro, I'm just you can do that later in the fight if you want to because this is a 12-round fight, obviously.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
early on, I would just stick and move. I would, and Abdullah can crack too. I know this. We know this for a fact, obviously. But I'm just saying,
Hmm.
this kid, as far as what I saw from Sam Noakes is pressure and power. I don't know about his chin. I don't know about his footwork. Looks kind of suspect to say the least.
Hmm.
But he might present a few. He might make it a little bit interesting. I
Yeah.
see. I still have Abdullah winning pretty
Hmm.
easily if he game plans correctly for
Right.
this fight, and that's a big if.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead and let me know if you guys agree, disagree, because I've been watching a lot of Sam Noakes lately.
Yeah, I haven't
That's
seen
like
too
my
much of him.
assessment. Oh, T Hill dropped off. That's
Oh.
fine. He's busy, I think.
Yeah.
But,
I haven't seen too much of Noakes. I got Abdullah winning, but
yeah, me too.
I got to look a little bit at Sam Noakes. I haven't seen too much of him at all. To see,
Gotcha.
I think how Abdullah will win.
I mean, we got time. I mean, it's not even the fight coming up, so we got time for that. I was just mentioning it because
that's on the card with Devin and B. Norman, right?
Oh yeah, and Bam Rodriguez and Benavides and all the rest of them.
Yeah, but Turby ain't on there no more though, right?
No, he canceled that because they're doing the trilogy, bro. That's what I want.
That. Yeah, I'm glad about that one because they should have had that by now. Because
me too.
It should have been right after the second one. Like Beterbiev gave Bivol his shot right back. So
Exactly. Fair is fair, bro. Fair is fair. And screw Michael Eifert, bro. Let them strip you. Who cares? Like what Usyk happened. Nobody can take Undisputed away from you, bro. They can't do that. So
he had it. He got it. 2 weight classes. Can't take it back. That's done. That's in the history books.
Yeah, like let Benavides fight Eifert or whatever.
Yeah,
like you go after the big fish. You guys shouldn't even. To be honest with you, if you're Bivol and if you're in that stage, come on, man, you gonna fight Michael. And listen, all due respect, okay, he'll whoop my ass in 10 seconds. But Nah, bro.
Benavides shouldn't even came in the conversation. I don't even know how he got in the conversation, man. Of that trilogy. That should have been a no-brainer. Now they doing it. I don't know what took them so. It shouldn't have took this long.
Well, I mean, what happened was, Bivol, I mean, a few things happened, obviously. Bivol had that situation with his ex-wife, and also he got the back surgery and what have you. So apparently he is good to go because I just saw him training and doing shadow boxing. And he looked real good, bro. I'm not going to lie. He'll be right back to be my favorite fighter. Right now it's Jao Petaya, but he might just take over once again.
He's very similar. I think him and Bivol and Apatow is kind of similar.
Their footwork is a little bit similar, but Jao Petaya to me definitely has more power, and Bivol.
Who do you think would win that one if Bivol went up?
I knew that was coming. What weight are they fighting at? Cruiserweight or
cruiserweight? I don't see Jai coming down.
I don't see anybody beating Jao Petaya, bro.
Okay,
to be honest with you. Yeah, like if you put Usyk and Jao Petaya, to me, that's a 50-50. That's how much. That's how much I believe.
Apatow would beat Beterbiev too if you went up.
Holy shit! I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that was man, tough ass fight.
But Bivol did it. Bivol did it. I give Jai a good chance.
I do too because I don't give anybody more than a 50-50 shot against Jao Petaya. Nobody. Yeah. I don't, Beterbiev, Usyk, whoever you want to name, because Petaya can do both things. He can box when he wants to, and he can crack, bro. So
and he be the bigger guy. I think he'd take Beterbiev's punches better than Bivol, even though Bivol took him for 24 rounds. I think Jai take him even better.
I think so.
Be the bigger guy.
And Jai's been in there with a few killers. He's been in there with Maris Breedis and David Nika's joke, bro. People sleep on David Nika. David Nika could be a future champion. Yeah. Not for nothing.
And Breedis too.
And Breedis gave Usyk the toughest fight at cruiserweight he ever had. So, I mean, he got him a little bit old, but he was still a hell of a fight. And he broke Jai's jaw in the fight. And Jai kept fighting, bro. I was sold on Jao Petaya from the moment I saw that, bro.
That's rough fighting to a broken jaw or orbital bone.
I mean, are you kidding?
You got my total respect when people say that. Like Monster did. He had the orbital bone when he fought Donaire the first time, remember?
Yes.
When I hear people jaw or orbital bone, you tough.
And Paulie Malignaggi, not for nothing. People have their own opinions on him. I love him personally, and he did it against Miguel Cotto, bro.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Paulie was a tough guy.
For sure. He didn't have any power worth of speak of, but he was tough as they come, bro.
If he would have had some power, man, he might be an all-time great. Paulie, as
for
tough as
sure.
he was and everything, man, if he would have had some pop, wow.
Because he had everything else. If you look
Yeah, he
at
had everything else. He could
yeah,
box, and all,
footwork, yeah,
everything. Fast, you know.
But you know, you got to use what you have, as they say.
Right.
You know,
He did pretty good at it.
for sure. 2-time world champion. I mean, with no power, 2-time world champion. I mean, I'll take that.
Al Booker says Bivol gonna lose against whoever he fight next. Wow.
Buga. Now, Bivol not your cup of tea.
Oh man. Oh no, I gotta get to Beterbiev again.
You know, I was starting to like you, Albuga, but now not so much. Now I'm kidding.
I think they beat Benavidez. If he stood in there with Beterbiev for 24 rounds, I don't think Benavidez can beat Bivol, man. He can outbox him. And if Beterbiev couldn't do it, 24 rounds with that monster, I don't think Benavidez got nothing coming with Bivol, man.
I hear you. I hear you, but I gotta give Benavidez enough respect to say he definitely has a chance. You know,
yeah. He always got a chance, but that's about it.
Yeah. He's earned that much with me, not for nothing. You know, I know his power doesn't seem like much at 75 and whatever, but he was never really a one-punch knockout artist anyway. Yeah. He's a volume guy. You know.
Yeah, he always took him like deep before he.
Yeah, he overwhelms you. You know.
Yeah, classic break him down fighter. Yeah.
I just think Bivol is not going to get tired as opposed to like a Caleb Plant or a Bubu
No,
Andrade,
he ain't.
you know?
He got one of them endless gas tanks, you know? Endless gas tanks. The only thing with Beterbiev in that first fight, it wasn't the gas tank. It was just them hands Beterbiev was putting on it that went down late. You know, in the championship rounds, his punch output went down because he got tired of getting hit upside the head by Beterbiev that first fight. He was smacking his own gloves back into his face and everything. Remember that first fight with Beterbiev? Yeah, that'll take a toll on anybody, man.
For sure. And that's what Albuga is saying, and I hear him. Listen, you might be right, bro. I could be completely wrong, you know, because those wars, they take some of you, you know.
They do.
For sure. And Benavidez, has Benavidez been in
That's
a
good point too. Yeah, Albuga there. The two wars in the back certainly, yeah.
But if he is, it's gonna be a long. I don't know, man. It is interesting because, like I say, I don't see. First of all, they're naturally bigger than Benavidez. That is, you know. So Bivol, I don't see Bivol getting tired, and Beterbiev, bro. Like if Beterbiev is like 90% of what he was,
that's just a monster.
I don't know how Benavidez goes out of, you know.
He's going up out of there.
Yeah, like Beterbiev is something else, bro. Like
I know.
Golly. He took pressure. He took being a pressure fighter to the next level, bro. Like, like seriously. It's like you're getting jumped the whole freaking fight, bro.
I know. He got a baseball bat in each hand.
I've never seen him. I've never seen him on the back foot, not even once.
Never. No.
Oh man.
I don't know what say bad neither. You know, he's such a good offensive fighter that the defense get underrated, you know?
True. And the same for Benavidez.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Footwork also, like they're so good in this one aspect of the game that the others get overlooked.
Yeah.
Like for example, you look at Mike Tyson. Obviously, we all know about the left hook from hell and the peekaboo and all that. But if you take a look at his defense is actually top notch, bro.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But it's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Like what is it? Pressure and knocking them out. Yep.
Right, like let me give you another example. Muhammad Ali. First things that come to mind is, you know, hand speed, footwork. But Ali could crack also, not for nothing.
Yeah, he could. He had a 23 fight stretch where he had 20 of his knockouts.
Exactly. So, but that's not the first thing that comes to mind, you know.
You know, a lot of times he'd make those predictions, so he could have got fighters out of there earlier, but he would let them last trying to fulfill his prediction. You know, early in the 60s, He would do that a lot. He would say like the 7th round, so he could have got you out at 4, but he's gonna try to make you last till 7. And then get the 7 couldn't get you out of there. You end up going the distance against him. You know, when he let up on you, let you off the hook. You know, yeah.
Exactly. You're talking about the Ernie Terrell, the Cleveland Williams days, right? Yeah. I feel you.
Back around that time. Yeah. That was before the suspension.
Yeah, no, way before that whole thing about the Vietnam War happened. And,
all of that,
you know, we all know the rest of it.
That was close to unbeatable.
Man, I was in work today during the day, and I watched God knows how many fights. Last night I saw Felix Savon versus Shannon Briggs, the final of the Pan Am Games of '91.
Okay.
Felix Savon got him out of there. And I was watching Monson versus Emil Griffith 1, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
And how many Larry Holmes fight have I seen today only? I saw the Ken Norton fight for like the millionth time. And what the hell
was a
fight
good
that
one,
was.
That was good.
I saw the Jerry Cooney fight and the Tim Witherspoon fight as well at work, just today at work.
And you know, the Larry Holmes and Ken Norton, you got to watch that all the way too, because that the 13 through 15 was the best part of the fight. You know,
exactly.
The 3 rounds, yeah.
I want to see the Ernie Shaver, the Ernie Shavers fight again.
Okay, and Holmes, he dropped Holmes. Remember?
He did.
And Holmes got up. Not too many people got up when Shavers dropped him. You know,
no, not too many. No. He was the Deontay Wilder from those days.
Yeah, Holmes got up and won. Yeah.
Holmes is so underrated, bro. I just got a book from him. You know, it's called Against All Odds. I'll go ahead and read that thing as soon as I'm done with a few that I got. My boxing library is only 5 books. I got a Muhammad Ali book, a Rocky Marciano book, a Joe Calzaghe, a Marvin Hagler, and now Larry.
You got to get The Good Son about Boom Boom Mancini. Ooh. It was written by Mark Kriegel. Remember, used to be a commentator on ESPN.
Yeah, I know who that is. Of course.
Very good, man. The Good Son. Boom Boom Mancini. You must not. I was talking about it last week. Yeah, that is excellent.
Oh, you know I'm gonna get that one. Yeah. Good. And I saw I'm telling you, you and I are like synced in the mind, because you just said Boom Boom Mancini. I just remember that I saw Arguello versus Boom Boom Mancini today as well.
Oh, you did? Okay. That was the fight that put him on the mat, although he lost it, you know, but he took it, what was it, like 14th round or something? He went.
Yeah.
And Arguello was a 13-year legend already at that time. He'd been fighting 13 years, you know.
There it is. The life of Ray Boom Boom Mancini. There it is. I'm going to put it on the card now.
Okay.
There it is. I appreciate that. Oh, only $11. $11, bro. How many pages is this? 300 plus. Okay, so that's how I know it's good content. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's got some good pictures in there, too. I mean, I looked at more than the pictures.
Nah, it's fine. I saw Boom Boom against Doug Koo Kim. I saw you were speaking about that fight the other day, bro. That's the fight I saw it like a week ago.
Yeah, that's the one that changed boxing.
Yeah, from 15 to 12.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
But
Doug Koo Kim. That's the Good Son was written around that fight. The book I'm just telling you about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like around that time. Okay.
Because of that fight. Because they went and interviewed Doug Koo Kim's son and his wife and stuff. It was part of the book. You know? Yeah. That's in there. When they went and interviewed him and everything. You know, he never met his son because his wife was pregnant with his son when that fight happened. So he never got to see his son, you know. Yeah, it's very good. You'll like it. Very good book, man. The Good Son. Yeah.
Oh, look at Albuga. He's reading Sound and Fury, book about Cosell and Ali. Awesome, bro. That's awesome.
Okay.
Listen, if anybody got like old boxing books that they want to sell or give away or whatever, reach out to me, bro. Like, I'm interested. If anybody got like a bunch of old, because I know somebody said it, but I don't know if it was here or somewhere else. I can't remember.
A boxing book.
Yeah, like their grandfather had like a bunch of boxing books, and I was like, but I
Hey,
couldn't
you
like.
got that Corner Man, the one Ant be talking about?
I'm gonna get that one. I saw
I
that one.
gotta
I
get that
didn't
one
see
too.
that one in Amazon. I didn't see it
Who
in
wrote
Amazon,
that?
but I did.
Who was that by again, Corner Man?
Because I saw it on eBay. I didn't see it on Amazon.
Yeah, I gotta get that. They've been telling me about that for the longest time.
Yeah. And you know, if fan recommends something, you listen.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. There it is. Corner Man, great boxing. Ronald K.
Okay.
Ronald K. Fried. I don't know if that's freed or fried. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna check that one out though. Yes,
Great
Sam
Britain. Oh, but they're coming from the UK, so the shipping
will
is
sell it Ali. Yeah.
That's like $27. How many
favorite
pages?
characters? Habakkuk selling it and Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
Doesn't list the pages. I'm sure it's good.
So you coming in? What time you coming on tonight?
Actually, I might come a little earlier than expected because since I don't have to work at night today,
and you want to say you're going to talk about take this conversation further about
Errol Spence and
okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to be in there for that. That's a pretty good conversation there. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the rankings. I'm gonna draw a game plan for him. You know.
Okay.
To get back to the top. You know.
Okay.
Whether he wants to do that or not is up to him. But for me, I'm just putting because I do like me some Errol Spence, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I do like me some Errol Spence. But
I actually had him over Bud for that fight. Yeah, I had Earl in that one. That was a lot more from the heart, though. You know. Just
I will say this: I would never thought it would be that.
Not
you know,
like that.
Yes. Yes. Like I had Bud pulling it off, but in a million years, what I would think that would have happened. You know?
Bud didn't even think it was gonna be that easy.
Yeah.
Bud didn't even think it was gonna be like that, man. You know.
People
I
forget,
probably would have looked at. Say, no, I didn't think I was gonna beat him like that.
Errol Spence is a natural born killer, man. People forget, bro. Like he, I don't know, maybe he lost that killer instinct. You know, it's I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong, but you don't get better at something by not doing it. That's the bottom line.
True.
You know.
That's right.
That's my bad. My phone overheated, so I had to put it.
Well, you're gonna get better by practice makes perfect. You know.
I mean, you at the end of the day, you don't get better at something by not doing it. I don't care who you are.
Michael Jordan, Kobe, Larry Bird, all of them, they still Tom Brady, they practice.
Exactly.
As good as they were, they still practice and got better. You know.
Gotta do it.
That's right. What else you got?
If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards.
That's right.
It's one of the two.
Right. That is 100% right. What else you got, T Hill? He's gonna get ready to get up out of here. But
I just saw that you were on, man. I got cooked out because my phone was overheating. So, all right, man. It's time to go. It's time to go. I've been far long enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch Arnie.
I'll be in later. I'll be in like 3 hours or something, or maybe less.
Cool. Yeah, well, that's my time. Old people like me, I can stay up till 7. Okay, I'm gonna be in there for sure tonight, though. I
appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me. Let's do official prediction for Eubank bench. You want to do it, or you want to wait for longer in the week for that?
Real quick right now, I got Eubank.
I got Eubank by stoppage.
No, but give me a round. Give me some sauce here.
Round? Let's say. I'd say between round 7 through 9.
I got decision.
You got decision? Okay. I got Eubank by stoppage round 10.
Okay.
Awesome. I love it. God bless you, fellas. I gotta do
something. We're gonna find out Saturday.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
God bless.
I appreciate you. Boxing Arnie. Tonight about 7, between 7 and 9. Boxing Arnie in these YouTube streets. T Hill is up here too. What's up, T Hill?
Nah, man, you know. About to let you go. Dismiss with the quicks. I know you've been up here giving us that great rivalry, that great well, I guess that was 5 fights between
They had 4. Mm-hmm.
4 fights between Pep.
Yeah.
And then, but man, shout out to the chat. Shout out to my main man Al Bugger. Shout out Mike Ram. Shout out Ray Patterson, Jersey champ. Had Mike Mazick, Mrs. Kaz. She's always by your side. Got Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and so much more. We have BN Boxing News, the boxing pharmacist, always giving you that proper prescription and that proper dosage of that good boxing news. Drunken Irishman, Technique, the way of things. Just do boxing. Where you get boxing is just do. Govern yourselves accordingly. You got to define Irony 1 or AKA Irony Boxing up in this piece. Much love to that brother and his work. You guys in the chat, you guys on the playback, you guys is just watching. Hope you had a wonderful day. Hope you had a wonderful time, and hope you will come back again. 2 o'clock shorty. His name is Cass Sports. He is the box historian, and he gives you the annals of time as chronicled by boxing and those who figure prominently in it. If you felt like you have been entertained, if you felt like you have been educated, if you felt like you have been edutained, both educated and entertained at the same time, well, you can hit that like button. You can become a subscriber. You can also give to the Cash App. And you can always give your presence because we love to talk boxing and we love to discuss it in the chat. So till the next time, you guys have a wonderful day and we out.